Chapter 1072, Eerie Level 7. Chapter 1072, Eerie Level 7. Putting away the hollow meridian pill, Jing suppressed the confusion and shock in her heart and didn't question Yi Mo. She knew that if a mysterious prodigy like Yi Mo was known by the Pill City, he would definitely become someone significant there. If Yi Mo rose up in status, the Lightning Cloud sect and the Infinity sect wouldn't continue a feud with such a prodigy over a mere core disciple. Her help towards Yi Mo was at the time when he needed it the most. This was countless times better than helping Yi Mo when he had already reached the top. I suppose that after we search through Truthful Palace Level 7, the Truthful Palace will close, but it's fine. The time is still early and we have no way of getting to Level 8. After we go out, we can meet again in 3 months at the Pill City. This is a detailed map of the entire South Peace State. Pill City is there. Jing gave a jade slip to Yi Mo. Yi Mo took the jade slip. He found that he already had such a jade slip, but not as accurate as Jing Li's. Jing Li didn't ask how Yi Mo became a Pill King or Formation Great Master. She was a smart woman. Since Yi Mo didn't say anything, she wouldn't ask about it. There was not a single person to be seen at the entrance to Level 7. Clearly, there were few cultivators who could come to Level 6 and even fewer who wanted to go to Level 7. When Jing Li came here, she hesitated for a moment. Before, she had no attachments and had no problem with going to Level 7. But now, she got the Hollow Meridian pill and began to hesitate. After all, she was young and could wait another 30 years before coming back here. Yi Mo's senses were extremely powerful after cultivating the 3-birth chant, and he noticed Jing Li's feelings. He smiled and said, "The Hollow Meridian pill only lets you reach Hollow Spirit State. For us cultivators, Hollow Spirit State is just the beginning." Jing Li smiled and clearly understood what Yi Mo meant. She looked back at Yi Mo and said, "Thank you, you're also a very meticulous and smart person. It's not that I'm afraid of death, I'm scared that if I happen to die here, I won't have another chance to come to Level 7. Then, she paused and looked at Yi Mo. "I saw that you had too many attachments before, that's why you were willing to go to the Pill City. Is it your family?" Yi Mo wasn't willing to talk to Jing Li about this, but his heart lit on fire thinking about them. He sighed and said heavily, "Yes, I really miss them." Jing Li could see the heavy attachment in Yi Mo's eyes and said, "Cultivation is supposed to sever all emotional ties, don't you understand?" Yi Mo smiled indifferently. "The Tao I'm cultivating is one that has emotions. If it was an emotionless Tao, then I might as well not cultivate it." Jing Li suddenly felt at ease. She was ugly and people didn't like her. She had always been cultivating and cultivating, but she didn't feel any prejudice from Yi Mo. Hearing Yi Mo's reply, she smiled as well. "If your view is heard by the 8-star sect Heartless Valley, it'll be another conflict." Yi Mo didn't reply. He wasn't afraid of a 9-star sect, so how could he be afraid of an 8-star sect? Jing Li didn't talk anymore. She walked up to the stairs to Level 7 and said, "Walk next to me, we might not be able to talk later. Use your spirit sense cultivation method to sever the mental pressure and we'll charge up to Level 7 together." "Okay." Yi Mo walked onto the stairs at the same time. There were 777 stairs to Level 7. The first 200 stairs, Yi Mo and Jing Li could still deal with, but after that, the sudden pressure almost crushed Jing Li's back. Luckily she was prepared and used her cultivation essence to stop the pressure. It had only been 200 stairs and there was already such pressure. How were they going to pass the next 500 stairs? Jing Li had to use her spirit sense to defend, but she knew that even if they defended together, they wouldn't be able to reach Level 7. At this moment, she began to get lost. She didn't know if her decision was right or wrong. She just wanted to look at Yi Mo, but suddenly she felt light. The mental pressure seemed to have been severed. She gazed at Yi Mo in surprise. She knew Yi Mo had spirit sense attacking means, but didn't expect it to be this powerful. Jing Li blushed thinking about how she said they could work together to get to Level 7. Now, it seemed that regardless of whether Yi Mo could get to Level 7, her help was minimal. "Hurry up." Yi Mo felt his purple eye soul sever had improved a lot, but the mental pressure from Level 7 stairs was much more powerful than Level 6, and this was only the beginning. Jing Li could also feel that Yi Mo was beginning to struggle, so she went faster. Soon, they reached about the 500 stairs point. Just when Jingingli thought they would be able to reach level 7 if they walked a little faster, the mental pressure that was suppressed by Yimo drastically increased and Jingingli spat out many mouthfuls of blood. She began to feel despair. This wasn't a blood clot stuck in her chest, this was the brink of her being crushed mentally. She didn't need to look at Yimo to know that he wasn't much better off than her. Yimo was indeed not much better than Jingingli. The sudden increase in pressure made him spit blood too. He could almost feel that his sea of consciousness was beginning to crumble. Yimo was shook. If his sea of consciousness crumbled, he would be finished. He used all his spirit sense and used purple eye soul sever again. After using this, Yimo felt a light crack sound in his sea of consciousness and a feeling of comfort and ease rose up his chest. The sea of consciousness that was about to explode became clear. The mental pressure nearby reduced. Yimo knew that his purple eye soul sever had reached from level 2 to level 3. Now, he could not only cut off the mental pressure, but also hack out with a spirit sense sword. If he fought with the lightning leopard now, he wouldn't need to trap it at the price of injury. He only needed to keep using his spirit sense sword. Yimo also felt the area around him clear up. He rejoiced, not only did his purple eye soul sever upgrade, but his spirit sense also increased by a level. He was sure that spirit sense had levels, but he didn't know what level his was at. Jingingli also felt some ease and looked gratefully at Yimo. Thank you, your spirit sense cultivation method upgraded. Yimo nodded, he didn't calm down yet. If his spirit sense didn't break through just then, he could only wait for death. Before, he thought he would be able to go into the golden page world when he couldn't take it anymore, but now it seemed he was too naive. He could have done that on the stairs to level 6, but here he could only spit blood. I'll take back what I said before, I said you can't kill me, but that's just what I've been thinking, Jingingli mocked herself. Other than looks, she wouldn't say anyone was better than her in front of any prodigy in the South Peace State. But now, she was truly defeated by Yimo. The remaining stairs didn't trouble the two anymore and soon they came to Truth Fall Palace level 7. Yimo thought there would be better spirit Kai here than level 6, but when he came here, he found out he was very wrong. The spirit Kai here was very chaotic and impure. It wasn't even as good as level 5. This is level 7. Yimo looked around at the dull grey landscape and was dazed. Then, Yimo saw a cultivator up ahead. It was Duan Joyang, the hollow spirit state cultivator from the 9-star sect, God Wind Valley. He stood there still and clearly dead, but his expression was very eerie. Chapter 1073, Not Space Collapse. Chapter 1073, Not Space Collapse. It's God Wind Valley's Duan Joyang. Jingingli saw this and said, I know it's Duan Joyang, but don't you feel that his death is quite eerie? Yimo asked. Jingingli nodded. Yes, there are battle marks around him and his face seems like he saw something good, but his eyes show shock and… Jingingli glanced at Yimo with some terror in her eyes. And his storage ring is gone, right? Yimo asked, what sort of person do you think could kill this hollow spirit state cultivator so suddenly that he couldn't even react? Jingingli and Yimo looked at each other, both feeling uneasy. In order to kill a hollow spirit state cultivator before he could react, this person needed to be at least disaster transformation state or even truth realization state. It wasn't hard for a truth realization state cultivator to instantly kill a hollow spirit state cultivator, but it was very hard to do that before the hollow spirit state cultivator's expression could even change. Yimo looked around at the dull sky and felt more and more uneasy. He had a sense of danger that he had never felt before. He felt that level 7 wasn't a place he could come to with his current power. Have people come to level 7 before? Why is it dull grey here and the spirit Kai is so impure? Spirit sense is also affected, I can't see a single spirit herb. Jingingli calmed down and nodded. Yes, Truth Fall Palace level 7 doesn't have a lot of spirit herbs. Even if it does, they would be very precious and rare ones. The cultivators who come here are here for the true God Chamber, to find heaven-grade cultivation method and magic artifacts. Jingingli continued, it said that level 7 was a battlefield for ancient cultivators. Many body condensation state, cauldron filling state and even truth realization state cultivators died here, and their magic artifacts were buried under the ground or lost in some corner. Later, True God Chamber appeared in level 7, and all the magic artifacts and cultivation methods with some intelligence appear here. Yimo sneered and looked at Jing-Ingli. Do you believe that cultivation methods and magic artifacts would appear here on their own? Although you didn't directly answer my question, from what you said, I can tell that people have been at level 7 before. Jing-Ingli frowned. She had only heard that once magic artifacts reach a certain level, there would be an artifact spirit, but she didn't know what level that was. Plus, would cultivation artifacts have an artifact spirit? Even if magic artifacts had an artifact spirit, would cultivation methods have a spirit too? But she still replied, I heard my master say that before. The Golden Sword sect had a hollow spirit state cultivator go into level 7, but after that cultivator came out, he brought out a lot of cultivation methods and cultivation artifacts. There were even level 8 spirit herbs. After he came out, he kept talking about the True God Chamber, saying there are magic artifacts and cultivation methods stacked up like mountains. Yimo asked in confusion, what does that mean? Jing-Ingli sighed. That cultivator only kept speaking about the True God Chamber and stopped cultivating. He had mental problems, and not long after, he died. People all thought that the problem was because the pressure on the stairs broke him. The 7-star sect Golden Sword sect rose to become an 8-star sect due to the things he brought out, and their reserves aren't any less than ordinary 9-star sects. So ever since then, all big sect cultivators want to go into Truthful Palace level 7, but hearing your words, I suddenly remembered that after all these years, there hasn't been someone who has reached level 7 and come out successfully. Then why do you have to go to level 7? Yimo asked her. Jing-Ingli hesitated for a moment before saying, because my grandmother died at level 7. My main purpose is to bring her storage ring back out. There's something very important in that storage ring. You think that storage ring is in the True God Chamber, right? Yimo asked again. Jing-Ingli nodded. Yes, people saw my grandmother go into Truthful Palace level 7 and not come out. If she died, it would be in the True God Chamber. I have a premonition that if we go into the True God Chamber with our current power, we won't come back out alive, no matter what. It's a premonition, but my premonitions are usually very accurate, Yimo said. Yimo suddenly had a very bad feeling that he didn't feel even in the Forbidden Grounds. Jing-Ingli fell silent. She had finally come to Truthful Palace level 7 and wasn't able to do what she wanted. It was hard for her to accept, and she knew that if she wasn't able to do it now, she wouldn't be able to do it 30 years later. 30 years later, she would at most be Hollow Spirit State level 4. How much better could she be than Duan Joyang? Even if she was Hollow Spirit State level 4, she might not even be able to come up here without Yimo's spirit sense attack. Seeing Jing-Ingli's hesitation, Yimo said again, if you trust me 30 years later, I will help you find your grandma's storage ring if I have the chance. But now, even if I go with you, it's useless. It's the first time I've disliked a place this much. If I could choose, I would have already left here. Seeing that Yimo even said this, Jing-Ingli clenched her teeth and said, okay, we'll wait here to teleport out. There's about 1 or 2 days left. Just as Jing-Ingli said those words, Yimo felt that space itself seemed to be collapsing. Without hesitation, he released the octagonal cauldron. Immediately, a cauldron shadow formed around Yimo and Jing-Ingli. Jing-Ingli noticed some bleakness attack pass by and also felt that space was collapsing. She immediately screamed, "This is space collapse." The next moment, her face went pale. Even truth realization state cultivators wouldn't be able to escape from space collapse, much less nascent soul state cultivators. Yimo's face sunk and he used his full power to power the octagonal cauldron. The collapse just then seemed like space collapse, but Yimo's powerful spirit sense immediately recognized that it was something else. Yimo, it's useless, that's space collapse. Don't use the octagonal cauldron to block it. Jing-Ingli said with despair. Yimo didn't say anything and just kept using the octagonal cauldron. Asterisk thud 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 asterisk after a few thuds, Yimo's cauldron seemed to be taking some powerful attack. They were both sent flying and landed a few 100 meters away. This isn't space collapse. Jing-Ingli immediately realized that it just looked like space collapse. Yimo spat blood and wiped his mouth, saying coldly, "We were tricked." "You're injured." Jingingli didn't understand what Yimo meant by being tricked. Yimo said with a heavy voice, "See if Duan Joyang is still there." Jingingli just found that Duan Joyang had disappeared and immediately asked, was he devoured by the space collapse? She immediately realized her words were bullshit. If it was space collapse, how could Yimo's octagonal cauldron protect them? Devoured my ass. Yimo's face was bad. He saw clearly that Duan Joyang was blown to pieces by that bleak wind. That bleak wind blew after that seeming space collapse. "Don't move." Yimo then released Mist Lotus Heartfire and swept it over Jingingli's body. Heaven Flame. Jingingli was dazed and recognized it to be Heaven Flame. Although it was sweeping towards her, she didn't move. She was certain that Yimo wasn't trying to kill her or he wouldn't envelop her with the octagonal cauldron. Jingingli was right. After a sizzling burn, she felt much lighter. Something on her clothes seemed to have been burned off. That wasn't true space collapse. Jingingli immediately realized that someone had simulated space collapse. If she had tried to just run away, she would have been dead already. Yimo had seen through it quickly and released the octagonal cauldron to block it. That wasn't true space collapse. Jingingli immediately realized that someone had simulated space collapse. If she had tried to just run away, she would have been dead already. Yimo had seen through it quickly and released the octagonal cauldron to block it. "Thanks for saving me again." Jingingli didn't see what Yimo burned off, but it clearly wasn't something good. Yimo nodded, "You saved me before, don't sweat it. But I think this Truthful Palace level 7 isn't simple. It seemed to have been taken over by something. It must have not been like this before. I also feel this place isn't right, let's go quickly." Jingingli shivered, but she stopped in the middle of her sentence. Where could they go? Go to level 8 or back to level 6? Yimo said, "We have nowhere to go now. We don't know the stairs to level 8, but even if we find it, can we go up? We can't go back down, so the only way is to wait until we get teleported out." "Okay." Jingingli calmed down and accepted that there was no other way than defending their current position. Jingingli immediately released her own round shield. She knew that Yimo would set up a formation, and she didn't need to remind him. As expected, Yimo used a few hand signs on the octagonal cauldron and started taking out formation flags. What they didn't expect was that even after Yimo finished setting up 2 defensive formations, there was still no movement around them. "Are we being too careful?" Jingingli asked Yimo. Yimo shook his head, "We're definitely not being too careful. My intuition is always right. It's best we stay here. This isn't far from the entrance to level 7, so it's not at the most dangerous place. Use these formation flags to guard the formation. If the formation weakens, throw out the formation flag according to the position." Then, Yimo gave a handful of formation flags to Jingingli. If he didn't have that many attachments, he would really want to go to that true god chamber and check it out, but he knew something would happen to him if he went. "What about you?" Jingingli asked. "I need to make more formation flags. If you have any formation flag materials, give whatever you can to me." Then Yimo sat down inside the defensive formation and started forging formation flags. Jingingli didn't ask questions as she took out her materials, stockpiling them in front of Yimo. Yimo started making formation flags non-stop. He was no forging master, but he knew something about forgery through all the formation flags he had made. He was even thinking he might become a forging master through forging formation flags sooner or later. "Here, grandmother." Jingingli stared nervously outside and suddenly saw her grandmother. She had never seen her, but she was certain it was her. She subconsciously wanted to charge over but felt some coldness in her sea of consciousness. It was similar to the feeling of being crippled. Before she could react, the level 5 formation flashed a white light and flicked something out. Jingingli shivered and found that a big part of the level 5 formation was broken. If there was another attack, the first level 5 formation would completely cripple. She looked out, her grandmother was nowhere to be seen, so close, it affected my sea of consciousness like a heart demon. She immediately threw her formation flags at the broken part of the formation. After the formation was repaired, Jingingli was still in a state of shock. She subconsciously looked at Yi Mo and said, "I think I know how Duan Zhouyang died." Yi Mo glanced at her. "I know already too, just be careful. Don't let the formation get broken, otherwise we'll die for sure. The only thing we can do now is to stall until the time is up." Jingingli nodded awkwardly. She felt her cleverness didn't work in front of Yi Mo compared to Yi Mo's composure and defense measures. She was getting startled too easily. Jingingli breathed out, however, thinking, "Why think lowly of myself? How many Yi Mos are there in the world?" Yi Mo was forging formation flags faster and faster. More and more formation flags piled up in front of him. Their piece passed quickly as a faint shadow that Jingingli's spirit sense could see clearly began charging incessantly at their formation. The formation soon started shaking, and even the space wind blades and chaos flows seemed to be growing. The formation light flickered as the attacker was blocked again and again by the formation. Jingingli could only keep throwing down formation flags and spirit stones. She still didn't know what was attacking them. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The formation seemed to be unable to take the huge attacks, and Jingingli looked worriedly at Yi Mo, but Yi Mo just kept making formation flags and didn't seem to notice anything. Crack. Finally, the first defensive formation was broken. Jingingli saw a dull face, but that face instantly disappeared. Yi Mo. Jingingli was very smart, but she couldn't help feeling worried in their current situation. If things went on like this, their next layer of defense would be broken soon. Crack. The second defense formation was loosening up. At this moment, Yi Mo got up and said to her, "Rest for a while, leave this to me." Then Yi Mo threw out formation flags like he were throwing out flower petals. "You're not going to repair the formation?" Jingingli found that the formation flags were meant to form a new formation. "That's right," Yi Mo said. He saw that level 5 defense formation wasn't going to make them last until the Truthful Palace opened, so since there were a lot of high-level materials for him to use there, he started making level 6 defense formation flags. He was setting up a level 6 defense formation now. Jingingli didn't waste time and kept repairing the level 5 formations. Another 4 hours later, when the level 5 formation was about to break, Yi Mo threw out 4 extreme-grade spirit stones and tens of spirit crystals. Jingingli felt the space around her shake, and a new big defense formation appeared in front of her. "A level 6 defense formation?" Jingingli exclaimed in shock. She looked at Yi Mo with more complicated eyes. This Yi Mo was too genius. He could set up a level 6 formation under such conditions. Usually, a sect had to spend countless spirit stones to invite someone to set up a level 6 defensive formation for them. If Yi Mo's formation skills increased just one more level, he could go anywhere in the cultivation realm with his formation skills. She also picked up on the fact that Yi Mo had an astonishing amount of extreme-grade spirit stones and spirit crystals. He was richer than her. Was he really an solo cultivator? Yi Mo breathed a sigh of relief and said, "We just need to defend inside this formation now. Pity that we didn't get anything up here, and I wasted so many materials, spirit crystals, and extreme-grade spirit stones." "What is this place?" Jingingli asked. Yi Mo fell silent for a while before saying, "I'm not very sure, but the shadow outside seems like a ghost cultivator. But it seems to have been controlled by someone. It's probably not a ghost cultivator. That black shadow indeed had no will, yet it was able to invade the sea of consciousness," Jingingli said. Pausing for a moment, she subconsciously glanced at Yi Mo and saw him looking at her. There was a deep worry and heaviness in their eyes. Both of them guessed that the black shadows out there were being controlled. Clearly, they weren't controlled by some cultivator who just came up here. The only explanation was that the controller had been in level 7 for a very long time. A day went by quickly. It was dangerous, but they still survived relying on the level 6 formation. A day went by quickly. It was dangerous, but they still survived relying on the level 6 formation. "I'll set up an attack formation." Yi Mo saw that even though his formation was powerful, if they just defended they might get in trouble. Jingingli said softly, "You probably don't need to. I think it's less than 2 hours before we can leave." Yi Mo stopped. If there was only less than 2 hours, then he didn't need to set up formations anymore indeed. Just as Yi Mo stopped, an extremely powerful space whirlpool rammed into the formation. Crack! The level 6 formation was about to be torn apart. Yi Mo and Jing Ingli were very shocked. They both thought that the defense formation could last at least 6 more hours, but its break was imminent. Before the two could react, the next moment, the level 6 formation completely shattered. The two felt waves of bleakness before the black figure finally charged up to them. The octagonal cauldron shot out countless cauldron shadows, trying to stop the black shadow. Yi Mo knew that his octagonal cauldron wouldn't be able to stop some guy that can break a level 6 defense formation, though. Hence Yi Mo immediately released the Mist Lotus Heartfire. He had no other way than this. As the Mist Lotus Heartfire swept out, there was a terrifying howl of pain. It was actually effective. And that quickly. Before Yi Mo could rejoice, a round colorless bead appeared before him. It was very comfortable to look at and Yi Mo couldn't help but grab it with his hand. A sense of comfort overcame him, and even his mind went clear. What was this? It was so good. It's a spirit cleansing bead. Those attacking us are spirit cultivators, Jing Ingli exclaimed upon seeing the bead. Spirit cleansing bead. Yi Mo was shocked. He found that it was indeed the spirit cleansing bead. They were priceless in the cultivation realm. Even level 9 spirit herbs might not be as valuable as the spirit cleansing bead. It was used for cultivating spirit sense and purifying the soul. There were countless benefits to wearing it. Only some spirit cultivators had them, but spirit cultivators weren't usually seen. And once they died, the bead would disappear along with them. Were those black shadows all spirit cultivators? Yi Mo suspected so for a moment, but he then immediately refuted the idea. There might be some spirit cultivators amongst them, but most of them probably weren't. Not good. Countless black shadows charged over. Yi Mo's heart sunk. There was no level 6 defense formation anymore. It would be impossible to stop all those black shadows. Even though his heaven flame was effective, he couldn't take on this many at once. Moreover, he wasn't sure if his heaven flame would work against all types of black shadows. Jing Ingli also realized this. Yi Mo immediately took out formation flags, wanting to set up another formation, but at this moment, 2 white beams of light flashed. Jing Ingli rejoiced and said to Yi Mo, "The Truthful Palace is closing." Yi Mo also felt the white light and immediately wore the mask Jing Ingli had given him. When he opened his eyes again, he saw he was on top of that sacrificial stage at the top of the mountain. He looked around and found Jing Ingli quickly. Jing Ingli nodded to him, but there was no longer a smile on her face. Yi Mo kept his head low as he walked behind her. What started with 6,000 people ended with only about 2,000 people. Yi Mo soon saw Jiu Yu and Guo Chifan. He saw they were fine and felt at ease. He also saw Qing Han and Qing Yi and company come out. Guo Chifan was looking around probably for Yi Mo, but Yi Mo wasn't going to meet up with him now. Qing Han, Qing Yi and the others also scanned around everywhere with their spirit sense. Yi Mo knew they were looking for him. Qing Yi soon found that she couldn't find Ning Xiaoma with her spirit sense and immediately began to worry. She walked up to a nascent soul state level 9 nun from her sect and asked, "Big Martial Sister, did Ning Xiaoma come out? Did you guys see him in the Forbidden Grounds?" The nun nodded but didn't know how to respond. Ling Xiaoshuang on the side said quickly, "Ning Xiaoma probably died in the Forbidden Grounds. Don't put it to heart, Martial Sister Qing Yi, after all his." Qing Han and the rest immediately turned dejected at the thought that Yi Mo had died. Xia Yushan even started wiping her eyes. Yi Mo on the side felt touched but also guilty. He knew that he could not show himself now no matter what. If he did, a lot of things would be exposed. Yi Pandai to begin with was not reliable. Yi Mo just thought of her when Qing Yu walked up to Yi Pandai with a cold face. "Martial Sister Yi, I want to ask if you looked for trouble with Martial Brother Xiaoma inside the Forbidden Grounds." Qing Han pulled Qing Yu, signaling her not to say things like that because she knew that even if Yi Pandai had looked for trouble with Yi Mo, she would not be a match for Yi Mo. Instead, asking Yi Pandai like this might start trouble between the two sects. What Qing Han didn't expect was that Yi Pandai would bow to Qing Yu and say genuinely, "Sorry, Martial Sister Qing Yu, I misunderstood Martial Brother Xiaoma before. I wouldn't look for trouble with him in the forbidden grounds. I am also very sad that he didn't come out. She didn't speak about Yimo helping her. After all, she would be interrogated about it as it involved the core disciple of the Eternity Sea being killed. She only needed to know herself. Qingyu didn't expect Yi Pandi's views of Martial Brother Xiaoma to change this much, but it was clear that she was being genuine. Sister, you only have one guard left. Did you encounter some danger in the forbidden grounds? A crisp voice sounded, and Yimo subconsciously looked up. What a pretty woman. She wore a faint purple dress. Her skin was whiter than snow, and her face very exquisite to the extent that it was hard to look at. Perhaps due to her cultivation method, there was light mist around her, making her seem like a goddess. There was simply worry in her eyes, and it was obvious her words were genuine. Without having to think long, Yimo knew this woman was Jing Yingmeng. South Peace State 10 Beauties ranked 4th. She was at Nascent Soul State level 7. Jing Yingli hummed but didn't say anything else. Her face remained cold. Jing Yingmeng didn't get angry because of this at all and instead seemed more worried. Yimo couldn't help but feel bad for Jing Yingli. Standing in front of Jing Yingmeng for her must have felt like a pig standing in front of a goddess. Other than their bodies and power, Yimo really couldn't tell how they were sisters. Jing Yingmeng sighed and looked at Yimo saying coldly, although you were assigned to my sister by the sect leader, the person you need to listen to now isn't the sect leader but my sister. Yimo was bewildered by this comment, but he didn't say anything and neither did Jing Yingli. At this moment, the cultivators outside came and before those cultivators could come around the stage, an extremely powerful pressure approached. A truth realization state Qianbei, someone said in shock. No one other than a truth realization state cultivator could exert such pressure. Yimo's heart sunk, and he kept his head low, not daring to scan his spirit sense around. The truth realization state cultivator was clearly there for Yuan Guannan. The truth realization state cultivator came before the stage floating in the air as his pressure grew even stronger, and some golden core state cultivators couldn't help but start shaking. That's enough, Dao friend, these Wanbei can't take your pressure. Another cultivator came up and smiled. That truth realization state cultivator sneered but took back part of his pressure and said to the cultivators on the stage, which of you killed my infinity sect's Yuan Guannan? Stand out now or if I find out later, your sect will be involved together with you. The cultivators who just came out rustled about. The number one genius of the Infinity Sect, Yuan Guannan, had died at the Truthful Palace. He was nascent soul state level 5 already at only about 30 years old. He had a bright future ahead of him. The cultivators who just came out rustled about. The number one genius of the Infinity Sect, Yuan Guannan, had died at the Truthful Palace. He was nascent soul state level 5 already at only about 30 years old. He had a bright future ahead of him, and this was due to forceful suppression. If it wasn't to build a solid foundation, Yuan Guannan might be at the hollow spirit state already. Yet such a person didn't come out of the Truthful Palace. It was hard to believe. Who could have dared to kill him? He probably didn't make it out of the forbidden grounds. Yeah, young Master Yuan is ranked 212 on the Nascent Soul State trial tablet. Who can kill him? Jing Yingli approved of Yimo's cautiousness. Although she thought that Yuan Guannan's death might startle a truth realization state cultivator and her hiding method might not work, but she just needed Yimo's help at the time. Whether or not Yimo would be caught didn't concern her. Now, it seemed Yimo's prudence had saved his life again. The truth realization state cultivator sneered and the discussion in the crowd stopped immediately. If you offended a truth realization state cultivator, there was nothing you could do even if he killed your whole family. Tsai, recount what happened before you came out. Another cauldron-filling state cultivator walked up to people and said. Yimo glanced at that cauldron-filling state cultivator. He was clearly from the Infinity Sect too, but his face was very pale. Yimo wondered if Yuan Guannan was his disciple. When Tsai walked out and bowed to the two truth realization state cultivators before saying to that cauldron-filling state cultivator, Elder Feng, I was with Marshal Brother Yuan at level 5 when he said he had some business and told me to wait for him for 15 minutes. But I waited 5 hours and he still wasn't back. I knew then that something must have happened to him. The Truth Realization State Cultivator heard this and said, "Those who reached Truthful Palace level 5 stay, the rest can go." Soon, 1,000 or so people left the stage. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense and found only 500 remained. This was quite a powerful process of elimination. Those cultivators who weren't yet nascent soul state level 3 were also eliminated. Until eventually, there was only about 100 or so cultivators, and Yi Mo happened to be among them. Yi Mo had counted more than 10 hollow spirit state cultivators, but he saw that only 2 had come out. That monk, Ku Xin, hadn't come out either. "What's your name?" The Truth Realization State Cultivator suddenly glared at Yi Mo. Yi Mo wore a mask and had nascent soul state level 4 power, but his cultivation essence seemed very strong. Yi Mo cursed. There were about 100 or so people, and he was on the weaker side of the people there. Yi Mo waited and saw that Jing Yingli's face was indifferent, seemingly not caring about him at all. He could only say, "Wanbei is Abstruse Sound Sect's inner sect disciple Shi Pei. I was ordered by the sect leader to protect Miss Yingli." Hearing this, the Truth Realization State Cultivator looked at Jing Yingli. Although he didn't say a word, Jing Yingli still went up and saluted, saying in a very bland tone, "Yes, Qianbei." That cauldron-filling state cultivator said next to the Truth Realization State Cultivator, "That's the family business of the Abstruse Sound Sect." The Truth Realization State Cultivator nodded and didn't keep interrogating Yi Mo. Yi Mo just realized something. If Jing Yingli had rushed to help him provide an alibi, it would have seemed bad instead. It seemed she didn't really like the guards she had before him. Wait, Dao Friend Lin. Another Truth Realization State Cultivator seemed to have realized something. "What is it, Brother Wu?" The Infinity Sect's Truth Realization State Cultivator looked at the cultivator who just spoke. That cultivator frowned. "Dao Friend Lin, I'm sure that the culprit who killed Yuan Guanan isn't amongst these cultivators, because the soul mark isn't something that ordinary cultivators can remove, much less these cultivators, as the highest level cultivator here is only at the hollow spirit state." The Infinity Sect Cultivator sighed. How could he not know that? But Yuan Guanan's potential was huge, so he was unsatisfied that he had just died at the Truthful Palace like that. Also, did you see that 11 hollow spirit state cultivators went in? How come only 2 came out? Even hollow spirit state cultivators could die, much less nascent soul state cultivators. This time, the Truthful Palace is open to the entire Luo Yu continent. Who knows if there are some prodigies from other places participating? Brother Wu said. That is true indeed. The Infinity Sect Truth Realization State Cultivator finally saw the situation clearly. That Brother Wu said to the cultivators, "Everyone who reached Truthful Palace level 6, stand out." Yi Mo saw that there were only about 40 cultivators now, including him and Jing Yingli. "Okay, is there anyone who went up to level 7? Brother Wu asked again. No cultivator stepped forward. Yi Mo wasn't going to come out, and he believed Jing Yingli wasn't going to stand out either. The 2 Truth Realization State cultivators glanced at each other and saw the worry in each other's eyes. The Infinity Sect Truth Realization State cultivator waved his hand, "You may all leave." Then, he said to the cultivator next to him, "Brother Wu, I feel that the Truthful Palace is different from usual. The Forbidden Grounds suddenly appeared, and so many prodigies died inside. This isn't normal." Yi Mo didn't care what they were talking about. He just wanted to leave as soon as possible. The ship taking them back was already waiting on the side. Yi Mo didn't say anything and just followed behind Jing Yingli. His room was next to Jing Yingli's, and when he entered, Jing Yingli sent a sound transmission to him, "You can't disclose the flame or the bead or you'll be dead for sure." Even without her reminder, Yi Mo wouldn't be dumb enough to tell everyone he had such things. He was more afraid Jing Yingli would spill something, but since she had said this, she clearly wasn't going to spill the beans either. She said this not to remind him but rather to promise him that she wouldn't tell anyone. A few days went by quickly, and although there were less and less people on the boat, Yi Mo never went out. He felt that Jing Yingli came once but just stood at the door for a few moments and left. After they came to the Truthful Palace Square, Yimo still followed Jing Yingli closely. Suddenly, Jing Yingli released a flying sword and said to Yimo coldly, if you still dare to follow me, don't blame me for killing you. I don't need you, a mere nascent soul state level 4 inner sect disciple, following me. You can't protect me. Then Jing Yingli turned and left without even glancing at Yimo. Yimo was grateful. Yimo knew this was Jing Yingli giving him a chance to leave and mind his own business, but also reminding him to go to the Pill City to meet up there. Yimo seemed to look helplessly at Jing Yingli as she left and suddenly turned away. He quickly hid all his kai, because he saw Jing Yingmeng walk towards him. He didn't want to meet her. He had to get back to Moyu City and ask Xu Changji to look after it. Jing Yingmeng frowned seeing Yimo disappear immediately. Since when did the person father sent out become so strong? Yimo found a discreet place to change his kai and wear a new set of clothes, before he put on 9 transformations before heading back to the square. He saw Yu Shanping and Ji Lian surround Ji Yu Wei. They didn't expect Yimo to die but Ji Yu Wei to come out. Yimo scanned his spirit sense around and soon saw Li Qianping with a face of disappointment at a stall. Yimo walked over and saw there were only a few level 4 spirit herbs and some low-grade spirit artifacts. She clearly didn't have her mind on doing business. I want this spirit herb. Yimo picked it up and gave a box with a restriction on it to Li Qianping, saying, this is the payment. Then Yimo left without giving her a chance to talk. Li Qianping scanned inside the box and joy appeared on her face. Without hesitation she put the box in her storage ring. When she scanned out her spirit sense again, she found Yimo was already gone. You're indeed a trustworthy person and have brought Fu Rong's head, Li Qianping murmured as she packed up her stall and disappeared. Before Yimo entered Moyu City, he could already see Xu Changji with a face full of joy. He was a hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator now, and the city lord estate was already built, but there was just no formation yet, so Yimo easily scanned Xu Changji with his spirit sense. Before Yimo entered Moyu City, he could already see Xu Changji with a face full of joy. He was a hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator now, and the city lord estate was already built, but there was just no formation yet, so Yimo easily scanned Xu Changji with his spirit sense. What made Yimo even more happy was that under Yi Wucai's command more than half of Moyu City had been completed. Congrats martial brother for reaching the hollow spirit state, Yimo said before he arrived. Xu Changji then also saw Yimo and immediately came up to greet him. If it hadn't been for Yimo, he would still be at the nascent soul state. Being the nascent soul state first king meant nothing to him, only constant progress was the most important. Martial brother, you're back. From your expression I can guess you must have acquired quite a lot this time. Xu Changji was very happy that Yimo came back. He didn't need to worry about cultivation methods anymore with this martial brother by his side. Let's go in first. Yimo collected his smile and casually set up a spirit sense shielding restriction and a soul barrier restriction before pulling Xu Changji inside. What's going on? Xu Changji also felt the seriousness of Yimo's attitude. Yimo set everything up before saying to Xu Changji, martial brother, I will need to go away for a while. In the meantime, I will need you to tell the outside world that I never made it out of the Truthful Palace. You offended someone? Xu Changji wasn't dumb and asked. Yimo nodded. That's right. I killed that Wu Yu inside. He's a 7-star core disciple, that's a bit troublesome, Xu Changji said casually. Yimo smiled bitterly. Other than this, I also killed Yuan Guannan. What? You killed even the number 1 genius of the Infinity Sect? How did you even come back? Xu Changji was truly amazed. This new martial brother of his was a bit too bold. A friend helped and so I managed. But I suspect those people will investigate Moyu City, so I'm prepared to leave. I'll leave Moyu City with you, martial brother. This is the place from where I'll be building my power, so you must take care of it seriously, Yimo said. Xu Changji immediately said, martial brother, this is not only your place but also my place now. Don't worry, you can rest assured while you're out. I don't have a place to go anyways, and I really like Moyu City, but it's just that the spirit Kai is a bit low. However, you're a formation great master, so you can set up a spirit gathering formation, right? Yimo smiled. Even if you hadn't mentioned it, I was already planning on doing so. I will also upgrade the city's defensive formation. If someone wants to ask about me, just say that I never came back. Also, I'll need to rely on you for the construction of Moyu City and for Yi Wutsai. Shu Changji agreed. Half a month later, Yimo upgraded the formation of Moyu City and set up another defense formation and spirit gathering formation where Shu Changji usually cultivated before giving him a spirit increasing pill and leaving. He had made the pill from the leftover herbs Jing Ingli gave him last time. Although Yimo had desperately left the Truthful Palace Square, the other cultivators didn't. The sects wanted to compare the spirit herbs their disciples got to compare the power of their core disciples. These spirit herbs would be converted into sect contribution points which could be used to exchange for pills. Even a core disciple of a 9-star sect couldn't find a level 4 pill king to concoct pills for them, much less other disciples. Hence usually the disciples gave up all their herbs in exchange for points. Even the solo cultivators would trade their herbs for points at the Solo Cultivator Alliance. Yu Shanping and Ji Lian surrounded Jiyu Wei at the moment, standing at the Green Pill sect. Their faces were full of joy. Jiyu Wei not only came out from the Truthful Palace and reached level 4, he actually got quite some spirit herbs. They also knew that Jiyu Wei didn't want to join the Green Pill sect before, so that it would be fine for them to go in. Jiyu Wei had to wait for the Green Pill sect disciples to exchange their items first before they could. But at this moment, Yu Shanping and Ji Lian became worried because all the cultivators on the road were looking at the two of them. This was because a stunning beauty was walking towards them. The two knew themselves and knew that with their looks and talent, there was no way the number 1 beauty of South Peace State, Wen Tsai, would be interested in them, but she happened to be the woman walking over. She stopped in front of the trio. The two were old, but they were very nervous facing Wen Tsai. They didn't dare to enjoy her beauty at all. They were scared Wen Tsai would teach them a lesson. But the two thought carefully and remembered that they hadn't really looked at her or anything. "What's your name?" Unexpectedly Wen Tsai asked Jiyu Wei. Solo cultivator Jiyu Wei greets martial sister Wen. Jiyu Wei saluted with his fists and answered nervously. Wen Tsai nodded. "There was also another person who went into the Truthful Palace with you, right? What's he called? Why isn't he here? You guys represent the Green Pill sect, right?" Jiyu Wei answered carefully. "Yes, I went in together with Yi Qianbei. We were representing Han Liang Empire. Yi Qianbei's name is Yimo, but he unfortunately died in the Truthful Palace. I am deeply saddened by the loss." Wen Tsai frowned. "So you respect that Yimo a lot? Had you guys met before?" Jiyu Wei replied more carefully. "Yi Qianbei was generous to me. It's natural that I'm respectful to him. I didn't know Yi Qianbei before, but he took care of me on the way towards the Truthful Palace." Jiyu Wei was indeed very grateful and respectful to Yimo for sending someone to bring the condensed soul pill before his death. The reason he had decided not to go to the Green Pill sect was so that he could go to Moyu City and help it stabilize before he went somewhere else. That was Yimo's last wish. "You're lying," Wen Tsai sneered. Jiyu Wei was shook. Just when he thought Wen Tsai was going to look for trouble with him, another desperate crisp voice said, "You said the person with you was Yimo? His really Yimo?" Wen Tsai was very annoyed that she was interrupted, but when she saw it was Ling Xiaoshuang, she just sneered and didn't say anything. Ling Xiaoshuang's master, Shan Bingfeng, was very protective and not scared of her Infinity sect. Ling Xiaoshuang's words saved Jiyu Wei, and he carefully wiped his sweat before respectfully replying. "Jiyu Wei greets martial sister Ling. The person with me was really Yimo, but he truly has fallen in the Truthful Palace." "How can that be?" Ling Xiaoshuang was shocked. She didn't believe the person who was saw into existence would die in the Truthful Palace. That was impossible. "Martial sister Xiaoshuang, you don't even know Yimo, why are you so worried about him?" Wen Tsai asked. Ling Xiaoshuang regained her composure and glanced casually at Wen Tsai before saying, "Martial sister Wen, I've known Yimo for a long time, what do you mean I do not know him?" Wen Sai looked at Ling Xiaoshuang in shock and acted as though she suddenly realized. Oh, so martial sister Xiaoshuang has fallen in love. The deeper you love, the greater you hate. Ling Xiaoshuang raised her brow and was about to retaliate when Wen Sai continued. Now I understand that martial sister Xiaoshuang already knew Ning Xiaoma was Yi Mo, but you pretended you didn't know him at the entrance to the Forbidden Grounds. It's true, the depth of love, the height of hate. What? Ling Xiaoshuang blurted out. After her initial shock, Ling Xiaoshuang's face went red. She had never been so embarrassed before. She just said she knew Yi Mo for a long time, but now she was immediately busted in front of everyone. Clearly, it was either that she was lying or she had a crush on Yi Mo. After her initial shock, Ling Xiaoshuang's face went red. She had never been so embarrassed before. She just said she knew Yi Mo for a long time, but now she was immediately busted in front of everyone. Clearly, it was either that she was lying or she had a crush on Yi Mo. This made South Peace State No. 2 beauty Ling Xiaoshuang extremely embarrassed. She couldn't even explain it. Her face was red as a tomato, but she was also feeling very awkward. She didn't expect Ning Xiaoma to have been Yi Mo. Why was the soar into existence prodigy so lecherous? Thinking about this, Ling Xiaoshuang frowned. Wen Sai then looked at Jiyu Wei and asked, according to what I know, although you and Yi Mo walked into the solo cultivator hall together, you've never even talked to him. How did he take care of you then? Jiyu Wei's heart sunk, and he cursed himself for saying too much. Jiyu Wei knew that if Wen Sai wanted to kill him it would be as simple as crushing an insect. He gritted his teeth and saluted with his fists to Wen Sai, martial sister Wen. Yi Qianbei might have died dead, but before he died, he asked his friend Fu Rong Qianbei to give me some pills, so I'm very grateful to him. Fu Rong. Wen Sai murmured to herself. Then she asked with a frown, so if he could ask someone to take things out, he didn't die suddenly? I don't dare to guess about that. But Fu Rong Qianbei said he was Yi Qianbei's friend. Jiyu Wei also felt that this Wen Sai seemed to have some conflict with Yi Qianbei and didn't dare to say much. Wen Sai sneered. Where did that Fu Rong go? She felt things couldn't be so coincidental. That Fu Rong happened to find the Truthful Palace Forbidden Grounds and became Yi Mo's friend. But she didn't know Fu Rong, so if she wanted to investigate Yi Mo, she had to investigate Fu Rong first. The reason why Yi Mo had said that he was Fu Rong was for Wen Sai to investigate who Fu Rong was. Fu Rong's origin was eerie, and Yi Mo was sure that he wouldn't spill his roots easily. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to look for the bitter bamboo. So if Wen Sai was to investigate Fu Rong, she wouldn't be able to much. Jiyu Wei said again. Fu Rong Qianbei said he was going to level 6. He wasn't sure if he would live or die. After I came out, I didn't see Fu Rong Qianbei. Wen Sai fell silent. She was thinking whether the two could have really been friends. Or was Fu Rong killed by Yi Mo, or did Yi Mo get killed by Fu Rong? Show me Fu Rong's face, Wen Sai asked after a moment. Yes. Jiyu Wei soon drew an image of Fu Rong to Wen Sai. When Wen Sai saw this, she frowned even more, because Jiyu Wei indeed drew Fu Rong. Yi Mo had a stealth Kai magic artifact and she knew about it. She also knew that the magic artifact could only change the Kai but not the face. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to recognize Yi Mo at the rocky beach. Wen Sai didn't keep asking and turned around to Ling Xiaoshuang, smiling. The martial brother Xiaoma you've known for a long time is dead. Martial sister Ling Xiaoshuang, I'll be going now. You can keep asking. Ling Xiaoshuang had calmed down completely by then and ignored Wen Sai's words. She turned to Jiyu Wei and asked, where did Yi Mo come from? Yi Qianbei came from Moyu City, and he asked Fu Rong Qianbei to deliver the message to me to look after Moyu City a little, Jiyu Wei answered. Moyu City? Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Jiyu Wei quickly explained, Moyu City is a mortal city. There's not enough spirit Kai there, but Yi Mo Qianbei is the city lord there. He's the city lord of an ordinary mortal city. Ling Xiaoshuang felt more suspicious. Were the two Yi Mos two different people? Even if they were different people, a nascent soul state level 3 cultivator shouldn't be a mortal city's city lord. It was probably not the same person, Ling Xiaoshuang told herself. He was only golden core state not long ago. How long had it been? Yet he was supposedly a nascent soul state level 3 cultivator now? Even Yuan Guannan wouldn't be this fast. Was Yimo Yuan Guannan then? Could Yuan Guannan have activated the jade tablet of Saw into existence? Ling Xiaoshuang was confused again. Suddenly, a figure dashed across her mind. When she went to the trial tablet, one cultivator said Yimo took out a purple magic artifact. That day at Spirit Rest Tower, she saw Ning Xiaoma take out a purple kitchen knife. Was that the purple magic artifact? If this was no coincidence, then Ning Xiaoma was Yimo for sure. If Ning Xiaoma was Yimo, why did he seem like two different characters? He seemed so lustful towards her and made the female cultivator with Wu Yu cry. She asked Qingyi and Qinghan repeatedly and made sure that Yimo didn't do anything to them and had indeed helped them. Did he have two personalities, or was it really that he treated her differently from other women? Thinking about this, Ling Xiaoshuang blushed and shook her head. She felt that Yimo was purposely trying to flirt with her. Perhaps it was because she was pretty and he just wanted to flirt. But wait, Yi Pandai wasn't less beautiful than her. Had he already gotten her? He couldn't be that fast, right? But when Yimo saw Yi Pandai, he didn't seem to want to flirt with her or look at her lustfully. Ling Xiaoshuang shook her head. She was going to ask Yi Pandai first. Why had she changed her views of Ning Xiaoma so drastically? She just walked one step when she stopped, however. She seemed to have grasped something. Yimo didn't try to harass her immediately when she saw him. She said he seemed familiar first and only then did he try to flirt with her. Why did she feel he was familiar? She was sure she hadn't seen Ning Xiaoma before. At the trial tablet square, Ling Xiaoshuang's mind cleared up. She was sure that Yimo was Ning Xiaoma now. She remembered that familiar feeling. She felt Yimo's cultivation essence and Kai on the trial tablet, and that's why he seemed familiar. So it really was him. Ling Xiaoshuang suddenly felt disappointed. After what her master told her, she thought that person would be a hero, yet he was a lewd guy. No wonder someone like him died in the Truthful Palace. Thank you, Ling Xiaoshuang thanked and no longer had any interest in going to Mo Yu City. That Ning Xiaoma was a lecher, but he had some capabilities and even killed Tian Aofeng. Hold on. Ling Xiaoshuang slapped her head and smiled bitterly. She suddenly felt she was very dumb. Yimo clearly flirted with her once she said he seemed familiar. He was scared that she would recognize him and purposely got her angry. That night he left South Peace City secretly, meaning that he was indeed the killer of Tian Aofeng, and he didn't dare to let her guess about him. If she was right, Yimo probably came from the Heartless Sea and was the Mo Ying that the Lightning Cloud sect was suspicious of. Such a smart guy. He disrupted her train of thought by flirting with her, making her go such a big circle and get so much news before she was able to think things through. In terms of wits, she was a far cry compared to Yimo. If this was said to Jing Yingli, she would understand everything in less than a minute. Realizing that Ning Xiaoma was Yimo, Ling Xiaoshuang didn't believe Yimo would die in the Truthful Palace, but she felt she needed to tell her master quickly. At the same time, she needed to go to Mo Yu City and ask that female cultivator from the Eternity Sea if she knew Yimo. Pill City was the only 10-star city and was the symbol of the South Peace State, being even more famous than South Peace City. Pill City was the only 10-star city and was the symbol of the South Peace State, being even more famous than South Peace City. You could disobey rules at other cities, but you had to obey the rules in Pill City. It was said that no one dared to be domineering in Pill City. The Truth Realization State cultivator of the Lightning Cloud sect had dared to lock down South Peace City and spread his pressure over the entire city, but he would never dare to do this at Pill City. But in the cultivation realm, no matter how strict the rules, it was still all based on power. The same was true with Pill City. If there was anyone who dared to abuse people here, it would be the pill masters in town. They had the biggest status here. Pill City wasn't close to Mo Yu City, so Yimo didn't use Zishu. With his flying ship, it took nearly a month to reach. Before even going in, Yimo smelt a faint pill aroma. He felt the spirit Kai there was many times better than ordinary places. Yimo's mind even became clearer. This was indeed a sacred ground for pill concoction. Yimo got off the flying ship 100 kilometers away. There were sky restrictions further ahead, and outside them there was a huge level 9 defense formation. There was not only an attack formation but also another level 9 spirit gathering formation inside. No wonder the spirit Kai here was so dense. Yimo was also sure that there had to be more than one spirit range beneath the city. There were many cultivators going in and out. What shocked Yimo was that there wasn't even a city guard. Nor did you need to pay spirit stones to go in and out multiple times. But Yimo's spirit sense scanned a few subtle figures. He immediately realized that those figures were probably the cultivators surveilling in the dark. After coming in, the pill aroma was even stronger. Yimo was thinking, no wonder so many cultivators love this place. In this environment, cultivation would be much better than in other places. A few hollow spirit state and one body condensation state cultivator walked past Yimo. Yimo shook his head. Pill City really had hollow spirit state cultivators walking everywhere. Perhaps just this city was enough to annihilate North Far State. He was more certain about Jing Yingli saying that if he stood his ground here, no 9-star sect would dare to look for trouble with him. Yimo knew that Jing Yingli probably wasn't there yet. He didn't know the Pill City at all, so he needed Jing Yingli's help. Whether it was in joining Pill City or participating in the pill concoction tournament. When Yimo was still considering if he should find a place to sit and cultivate, a familiar figure appeared before him. When he saw that person, Yimo was shocked. His first reaction was to kill him, but he soon woke up, hoping that person wouldn't scan him with spirit sense. That familiar figure was Mo Yushin. He was already Golden Core State level 9. If he just started cultivating after joining the South Peace State, then his speed was too shocking. Yimo was sure that his cultivation speed was no slower than Su Jingwen's. But Su Jingwen had a hidden spirit route. Yimo turned around and stood by a small roadside stall, looking at a rusty magic artifact part. If Mo Yushin recognized he was Yimo, he would be dead for sure. Mo Yushin had 2 hollow spirit state cultivators next to him right now. One was even hollow spirit state level 9. Clearly, due to Mo Yushin's absurd talent, he had found a good sect to join. Yimo felt very bitter. Why did this bastard get such good treatment while he had to struggle to climb up the levels and have so many enemies? They have left. As Yimo was still thinking, the stall owner spoke out. Yimo just noticed this stall owner now. It was a young girl younger than 20. Her face was moderately pretty, and her eyes were very big. Her skin was just a little dark, and she was only at Foundation Establishment State level 7. There were just some level 2 and level 3 herbs on her stall and a few magic artifacts. Without a doubt, her business should be very average and probably only made a sale once every few days. But she could tell that Yimo had conflict with Mo Yushin and company. Yimo was surprised. He then smiled and took the magic artifact shard. Little sister, I'll take this. How many spirit stones? The big-eyed girl shook her head and said, I know that magic artifact shard has no use for you, you don't need to buy it. If you offended someone, you should leave Pill City quickly. Yimo knew that the girl had seen through what he was thinking, and so he asked casually, do you know the person who just went by? The big-eyed girl nodded. Yeah, I do. He's the disciple of the second elder of Pill City, Pill King Changshun's disciple, Mo Yushin. Mo Yushin. Yimo clenched his fists. This guy's luck was absurdly good. He had pretty much become the young master of Pill City. It didn't seem plausible for Yimo to rise up there anymore. Yimo got up and shook his head. It wasn't that Jing Yingli's idea wasn't good, but he was just too unlucky. Yimo thought that even if he was to leave, he would at least still wait until Jing Yingli came. Thinking about this, he asked the girl, I want to find a secluded hotel, would you know where I can find one? The big-eyed girl shook her head. Qianbei, it's your first time here, right? You won't be able to find residence here unless you know someone at Pill City. Usually, you have to order a few months in advance to get a room here. Yimo was stunned. So he wouldn't even be able to find a place to stay. But he can't just live on the streets for a few months waiting for Jing Yingli, right? The girl hesitated before saying, if Qianbei doesn't mind, You can stay at my place for a few days, I will charge a low fee. You have a place to stay at in Pill City? Yimo looked at this girl in surprise. She clearly had the worst items in her stall and her power was only at the foundation establishment state. How could she have a place to live in the city? Without a doubt, the house prices there had to be absurd. The girl heard this and seemed hurt. It's not mine, but my grandpa left it for me. My grandpa moved to this city a long time ago as a high-level spirit pill master. 15 years ago, he brought me here too, and I've been living here ever since. Yimo looked at her and asked, your grandpa is a spirit pill master in Pill City, yet you're out here with a stall and these items? My grandpa died 6 years ago. The girl sounded even more dejected. So that was it. Yimo realized that it must have been really hard for a teenage girl to sustain a living in Pill City with a stall. Most cultivators who visited here probably gave spirit stones out of sympathy. Otherwise, this girl wouldn't have lasted at all. She seemed only 17 now, so 6 years ago, she was only 11. It must have been very hard for her. Luckily this was Pill City. If this had happened somewhere else, she might have already died. Yimo thought of Yimo and the softest spot in his heart was touched. He looked at the girl and said, pack up your stall and show me your place then. He had decided to help this girl. Okay. The girl happily packed her things seeing that Yimo was willing to stay at her place. Yimo asked in confusion, if your grandpa was a spirit pill master, how do you not even have a storage ring? I used it all for debt repayment, the girl said softly. I used it all for debt repayment, the girl said softly. Yimo didn't ask, but he was sure the debt she was talking about had been owed by the girl's grandpa. How old was she? How could she owe that much debt? But how was her spirit pill master grandpa poor? Even if he owed debt, he shouldn't not have a storage ring. Yimo really couldn't understand. Yimo followed the girl as they spoke, and he got to understand quite some things. The girl was called Shinjida. Her grandpa was Shin Xiangui. Shin Xiangui went outside to fight for a career when he matured and with some fortune, he managed to become the disciple of a spirit pill master in Pill City. He then became a spirit pill master and had been living here since. 15 years ago, Shin Xiangui brought back Shinjida and they lived here together. She was small at the time and all the information she knew came from Shin Xiangui. Hearing this, Yimo began to suspect if this girl was even Shin Shengui's granddaughter, because she had been brought by him a bit too suddenly. Of course, Yimo didn't think too much of it. 6 years ago, Shin Xiangui died and left behind Shinjida who was only 11 at the time. Luckily he left a house and some fortune for her. Just when Yimo wanted to ask how all the fortune was used for debt repayment, Shinjida said, we're here. They were at an old small yard. It wasn't at the prosperous part of the Pill City, but it wasn't too distant either. There was a simple level 3 defense and spirit sense shielding formation. Yimo didn't expect the grandpa to have left her such a decent place to stay. Yimo nodded. This was much better than he had expected. If she had this place, then about 10 years later she might reach the golden core state and would then have a good future. Qianbei, please go in. Shinjida carefully took out a jade card and opened the formation. Yimo followed her inside. He found there were 2 huge spirit attraction trees in the middle of the yard. It was because of these 2 trees that the small yard's spirit kai became dense. Even if she didn't go put up stalls, she should be able to cultivate here. There were 6 rooms in this yard. Yimo scanned with his spirit sense and found that there were people in the other rooms. Did Shinjida rely on rent to earn spirit stones? If that was the case, she didn't need to go set up stalls. But there was only 1 room left. If she rented that to him, where was she going to stay? Shinjida pointed Yimo to the smallest room and said, Qianbei, you can stay here. Yimo looked at her in confusion. This is the last room, where are you going to stay? Shinjida didn't expect Yimo to have already scanned with spirit sense, and she blushed before saying, I'll be staying in the yard at night. Yimo frowned. Clearly, Shinjida was letting him rest in the place she was supposed to sleep. If he couldn't find a place to stay, he could go outside the city. He didn't need to take over Shinjida's room. Seeing Yimo frown, Shinjida began to worry. She looked at Yi Mo nervously, worried that he would refuse her deal. She could tell Yi Mo was a nice person who was being kind to her. Otherwise, he wouldn't have wanted to buy her magic artifact shard. Yi Mo thought for a moment and asked, Jida, did your grandpa leave you this yard? Shinjida nodded and looked at Yi Mo in confusion. Yes, my grandpa left this for me. Since you have 5 rooms rented out already, why are you still opening a street stall? Yi Mo asked. Shinjida looked down and said, those rooms aren't rented out. Grandpa owed people, so they have been taken over by them. If I don't pay the debt within 10 years, they will completely own the place. It's been 6 years already, and I've used all the spirit stones I earned to pay debts. How many spirit stones did your grandpa owe? Yi Mo asked. This is a long story. Shinjida sighed and looked at the other rooms with some concern. Yi Mo also felt a few spirit senses scan over. The highest was Golden Core State Level 5 and the lowest was Golden Core State Level 1. Okay, then come talk to me in the room. Yi Mo took Shinjida inside the room and set up a restriction. The spirit senses immediately couldn't scan inside anymore. The owners of those spirit senses seemed to know a powerful person was there and quickly withdrew their senses, not daring to keep scanning. Shinjida saw Yi Mo casually set up a powerful restriction that was even more powerful than the restriction in the yard, and she looked at Yi Mo with surprise. Yi Mo seemed much stronger than she had thought. Can you tell me? Yi Mo asked. Shinjida nodded. Yi Mo gave her an amicable feeling and didn't look down on her because of his power. 6 years ago, my grandpa's friend came and found him saying he found an ancient ruin at Great Dew Mountain. My grandpa didn't think much of it and organized a few friends to go there. But after a few days, he and his friends came back. Then my grandpa started gathering spirit stones everywhere. He used these spirit stones to buy a lot of magic artifacts and herbs in Pill City and made more pills before leaving Pill City again, Shinjida said. Yi Mo thought that the cultivators here had taken over Shinjida's house by force, but now it really seemed that her grandpa owed large sums of money. Shinjida was naive and never thought about whether someone might have been scheming against her grandpa and said, after my grandpa left, he never came back, and the friends he went with never came back either. Yi Mo nodded and asked, who are the people living here? The people who asked my grandpa for pill concoction. He was borrowing spirit stones everywhere and they all lent my grandpa spirit stones. Some people were grateful that my grandpa concocted pills for them, so they didn't ask for repayment. But some people asked me for repayment, and since I didn't have spirit stones, I could only pledge the house, she replied. How much do you owe these people? 700,000 in total. Yi Mo was speechless. He knew that people usually talked about top-grade spirit stones in South Peace State. 700,000 top-grade spirit stones were nothing to him, but for Shinjida, that was something she could never earn back even if she opened street stalls for her entire life. Where is Great Dew Mountain? Which ancient ruin did your grandpa go to? Yi Mo felt that something was fishy about the mountain. Shinjida shook her head. I don't know. I've never been outside Pill City. When my grandpa left, he said he would come back for sure. He told me to not leave Pill City to find him before he returned. But I heard him and his friends discuss about some Herb King Spirit Range. Spirit Range? Would this Herb King Spirit Range be an ordinary spirit range? The bitter bamboo needed a spirit range, so if it was a spirit range then he really wanted to go see this Great Dew Mountain. Jida, do you know pill concoction? Yi Mo thought that she should know at least something about pill concoction if her grandpa was a pill master. But Shinjida shook her head, I don't. My grandpa never taught me pill concoction. Yi Mo didn't think much of it. A lot of pill masters and pill kings didn't want their descendants to concoct pills. It wasted too much time and the cost was too high. Usually, pill masters weren't very strong as they wasted a lot of time in pill concoction. But of course there were some geniuses who not only excelled in pill concoction but were also powerful. What spirit root do you have? Yi Mo was interested in taking Shinjida in as his disciple. I have a water, wood, and metal spirit root, Shinjida replied. Her spirit root wasn't very good, and it wasn't suitable for pill concoction, but Yi Mo didn't mind. His pill concoction didn't have strict requirements for the spirit root. Besides, he had 2 water-type flames. He could give one to her if she accomplished something. Thinking about this, Yimo said, "Actually, I'm a pill master myself. Because you remind me of someone close to me, I want to take you in as my disciple. Tell me, would you be willing?" "Huh? Is Chenbei here for the Pill King tournament?" Shin Jida immediately knelt down and said, "Jidan is willing to serve Chenbei as master." Originally taking in Shin Jida as his disciple was an impromptu idea, but when Shin Jida actually knelt down for the customary act of entering discipleship, Yimo suddenly had a feeling of satisfaction. He felt that he had made the right decision. Originally taking in Shin Jida as his disciple was an impromptu idea, but when Shin Jida actually knelt down for the customary act of entering discipleship, Yimo suddenly had a feeling of satisfaction. He felt that he had made the right decision. Yimo pulled Shin Jida's hand and said, "My real name is Yimo, but I have some enemies at the moment, so if anyone asks my name, just say my name is Luo Xiaomo." Yimo knew that the Lightning Cloud sect was suspicious of Mo Ying, and Ning Xiaoma had also had too much exposure at the Truthful Palace, so he made another name, Luo Xiaomo. But Yimo was quite speechless. When would he finally be able to use his own name without hiding? Shin Jida was a bit confused, but she didn't ask much. She felt she suddenly gained a lot when she got a master. Before, she was just working in an endless cycle of earning spirit stones and paying debt every day. She didn't have any family or friends, nor did she have some high goal. The only thought she had in her mind was to pay back all the debt. "Master, did you come to Pill City for the Pill King tournament in 3 months? Are you a Pill King?" Shin Jida didn't forget to ask her question again. Although she wished Yimo was a Pill King, she knew that even with her grandpa's age, he hadn't become a Pill King. Her master would probably just be a spirit pill master. Yimo smiled. "Do you have high anticipations for the Pill King tournament?" Shin Jida nodded. "My grandpa worked his entire life to go to the Pill King tournament, yet when he passed away, he was only a level 7 spirit pill master. There was still a long road before he could become a Pill King. Grandpa said he might never become a Pill King his entire life, and he said my talent wasn't suitable for pill concoction. I didn't need to continue his path. In fact, in the North Far State, a level 7 spirit pill master had rather high status, but in the South Peace State and especially in Pill City, it was nothing. I will talk about the Pill King tournament later. Let's send off the people in these rooms first," Yimo said. "Master, the tenants are here because I owe them money, you can't send them away," Shin Jida immediately said. This was Pill City. If Pill City was the kind of place where anyone dared to harass and abuse people as they wished, she would have been forced out of the city and lost her life already. Those people took over her yard, but they didn't do it forcibly. It was because she owed them spirit stones. Yimo waved his hand. "You don't need to worry about that, just listen to me. Gather the people here." Yimo stood in the yard, waiting for all the tenants, but a while later Shin Jida only brought 2 people out. One person's face was already full of impatience. If he hadn't recognized Yimo's power, he would have gotten in a rage already. The other person just scanned Yimo and looked coldly at Shin Jida. "Shin girl, our time is limited, if you have something to say then hurry up. You still haven't paid up the spirit stones for this month and I haven't even had the time to ask you." Shin Jida's face went red as she looked down and said, "Sorry, Wei Chenbei, my master has business with you guys." "Your master?" The 2 studied Yimo and waited for him to start speaking. They could tell Yimo was stronger than them, but so what? This was Pill City. Yimo scanned with the other 3 people with his spirit sense and suddenly sneered as he sent 3 piercing waves of spirit sense over. The 3 who didn't come out immediately spat blood and had a pale face. They finally realized that the person who had come was a master amongst masters and they didn't dare to stay in the room anymore. They all ran out as they looked at Yimo with some degree of concern. This was only because Yimo had used the lightest spirit sense pike. Now that his purple eye soul sever ability was at level 3, he could use the spirit sense sword freely. If he used that, the 3 would either die or go crazy instantaneously. Seeing Yimo's dominance, the 2 who came first began to worry. Although Pill City had strict rules, if he killed them first and thought things through later, even if he got punished, they would still be dead. This yard was left behind by Shinjida's grandpa to her. Are you guys not paying rent and staying here just because you're stronger than her while you're asking for her to pay spirit stones? Yimo glared coldly at them. The cultivator called Wei stepped forward and saluted with his fists. Qianbei, although you're Shinjida's master, you can't be unreasonable in Pill City. We're living here, but it's not that we want to. It's because Shinjida owes us spirit stones and she can't afford to pay it. That's why we gave up the homes we lived in before and came here. Yimo laughed. So according to your words, you're doing this for the benefit of Shinjida? That's right. The cultivator seemed certain that Yimo wouldn't dare do anything to them. Very well. Unexpectedly, Yimo wasn't angry. He scanned the yard and suddenly said, "How many spirit stones does Shinjida owe you?" The cultivator called Wei was ready to make a ruckus if Yimo showed signs of attacking to kill them, but to his surprise Yimo did not try to force a fight. He immediately realized that Yimo was just acting tough and didn't dare do anything in Pill City. Thinking about this, his voice grew loud as he replied, "She owes me 140k spirit stones." Yimo could tell what they were thinking from their tone, but he didn't say anything about it. He asked, "Would you guys leave immediately if Shinjida gave back the spirit stones?" "Of course. I, Wei Wuya, am a man of my word. How can I seize someone else's land? Even if I were willing to do that, the city guards would immediately annihilate me," the cultivator called Wei said as though he were some upright person. Yimo pretended he didn't notice this and continued asking, "I won't ask about cultivation homes, but how long does it cost to stay in a middle-grade hotel in Pill City for a year?" "About 150k spirit stones, but this place can't compare with a hotel." That Wei cultivator clearly knew where Yimo was heading. Yimo sneered and asked again, "Then how much would it cost to rent a room like this in Pill City for a year?" "About 20 to 30k spirit stones." The cultivator called Wei was beginning to sweat. Yimo sneered. "I don't need to ask to know it's more than 20 to 30k spirit stones. But I'll just count it as 30k spirit stones. Okay, let me ask you now, how long have you been living here?" "Sai 6 years." The Wei cultivator's tone was getting shaky. 6 years, very well. I'll count it as 30k spirit stones a year. How much spirit stones do you need to pay Shinjida for 6 years? Yimo's tone went cold as he scanned the people there. "You're not only ungrateful to Jida for letting you stay here for 6 years, you instead even ask spirit stones from her every day. Do you not take me seriously, or do you not take the rules of Pill City seriously? Merely at the Golden Core State, do you think you're powerful?" Then, Yimo suddenly sneered as the weakest one of the group even spat blood. Yimo then said more seriously, "I heard Jida say that you guys were even planning on taking this yard in 10 years. If this isn't abusing low-level cultivators, what is? Do I need to call the city guards over and let you guys explain yourselves?" The cultivators' faces immediately changed. They knew that they had indeed been abusing low-level cultivators. "Qianbei, Wanbei has been in cultivation and forgot that Sister Jida already paid me back everything." The bald cultivator reacted the quickest and immediately went to pack his things and leave. Leave behind the letter of debt. Yimo didn't know if there was at first, but he now knew that the cultivator did have a spirit sense jade slip on him. The rest all quickly did the same and left the yard. "Master, is this okay?" Shinjida didn't expect them to leave after a few words. Shinjida patted her chest. "If I had known, I would have used this way already. Yet I was stupid enough to earn spirit stones for them every day." Yimo sighed. "I can use this way, but you can't. Do you think they didn't know how much spirit stones it saved them to live here? They were abusing the fact that you didn't have anyone to help you. You need to remember this if you want people to reason with you, you need to have strong power. If you don't have power, you have no right to reason." Shinjida nodded. Yimo thought that those Golden Core State cultivators whom he had kicked away would come back looking for trouble, as they'd been living in Pill City for a long time. However, he waited nearly a week and none of them came back. Yimo thought that those golden core state cultivators whom he had kicked away would come back looking for trouble, as they'd been living in Pill City for a long time. However, he waited nearly a week and none of them came back. Yimo soon upgraded the formation in the yard to level 5 but didn't dare to set up a spirit gathering formation. There were already 2 spirit attraction trees here. If he set up another spirit gathering formation, it would make a bad impression on the cultivators around. In the following days, Yimo kept cultivating while teaching Shinjida pill concoction. He even changed her cultivation method. Before Jingingli came, Yimo didn't go out to wander the streets. His power was too weak. If he met that Mo Yushin, he might not even be able to leave Pill City. 2 months passed quickly. Shinjida could already concoct simple mortal-level pills by herself. With Yimo's modified cultivation method and large amounts of spirit stones and pills, she also reached Foundation Establishment State Level 8. With those 2 months passing, Yimo, who was stuck at Nascent Soul State Level 4, also broke through to Nascent Soul State Level 5. There was still a month left before the Pill King tournament, when Yimo received Jingingli's message. She was in Pill City. Jingingli came to Shinjida's place, and Yimo introduced Shinjida to her, telling Jingingli that Shinjida was his new disciple. Shinjida looked at Jingingli in surprise. She thought that Jingingli would be no ordinary female cultivator for her master to take her seriously, but she really couldn't find anything to compliment about Jingingli's looks. They were far worse than hers. Shinjida knew that she was at most not bad-looking, but she didn't expect Jingingli to not even be as good-looking as her. Jingingli was also shocked. Shinjida's talent was ordinary, yet Yimo was interested in her. She really didn't understand. She knew that if someone like Yimo were to announce that he was taking in disciples, all the prodigies in Luoyu continent would want to come under him. And cultivators usually cared a lot about their cultivation heritage. They would pick and pick meticulously, but Yimo took in Shinjida, who was ordinary in both looks and talent. If Yimo said he would take her in as a disciple, even she would be willing. Jingingli could only sigh about Shinjida's luck. Cultivators needed luck indeed. Sometimes, a prodigy who didn't have a good master would become ordinary too. Yimo didn't think that much about taking in disciples. He felt Shinjida was suitable to be his disciple, and he missed Yimo, so he took her in. Jingingli was very smart, so Yimo told her about Mo Yushin. What, you also offended Pill King Changshun's disciple, Mo Yushin? Jingingli was speechless. This guy really knew how to cause trouble. But luckily his opponents didn't know it was him. Otherwise he wouldn't be able to make it through no matter what. If there's no way to join the Pill King tournament, I will take Shinjida back to Mo Yu City, Yimo said. Jingingli thought for a while before saying, I know that Mo Yushin. His Pill King Changshun's personal disciple. He's only been here for about 4 to 5 years, and I heard his talent isn't bad, but it's nothing special. No matter how good he is, he couldn't be much better than me. Even I wouldn't be able to reach Golden Core State Level 9 in 4 to 5 years. Yimo nodded. Mo Yushin clearly had some very precious spirit item. Jingingli paused for a moment. There's all too many people in the South Peace State with better talent than Mo Yushin, but even they don't cultivate as fast as Mo Yushin. Why is he so fast, Sister Ingli? Shinjida asked. Jingingli said, it's probably because he didn't care about his foundation at all. Or he has another way to solve it. Mo Yushin started cultivation at a later age, and he must have used some powerful spirit herb to forcefully establish his foundation and form his golden core. That's fast, but there's no foundation to it at all. He has no higher future. Yimo immediately understood what Jingingli meant. If one pursued solely speed in cultivation, it would result in a weak foundation and your mental state not keeping up. But with the bitter bamboo it was different. No matter how fast he cultivated, his mental state would be able to keep up. Yimo didn't believe that Mo Yushin had the bitter bamboo, so him having another way to solve the problem of a weak foundation was unlikely. Although he was at Golden Core State Level 9 now, if he wanted to reach a higher level, he would have to wait at least 100 years. Otherwise, even if he forced forming a nascent soul, his future would be troublesome. Yimo was confused too now. Pill King Changshun surely knew this too. So if that was the case, why did he take Mo Yusheng so seriously and let him rush to Golden Core State Level 9 in the first place? He really didn't believe Mo Yusheng could have the bitter bamboo like him. This was only a legend in the cultivation realm. Yi Mo wasn't sure if there was an immortal realm, but this probably didn't even exist there. Moreover, it was said that there was only one of each of the 10 great spirit items. Since he had the bitter bamboo, there wouldn't be a second one. Xin Jida was confused, so Jingyingli explained. The pills and herbs that forcefully bring up your power are very precious. Even 9-star sects have very little. If they used it on a core disciple, any one of them could reach the nascent soul state in a short time, but no sect does this, fearing it will result in an unstable foundation. Jingyingli then said to Yi Mo, "Brother Yi, that Mo Yusheng is just an outsider, but since Pil King Chang shun him in as a personal disciple, why is he still doing this?" There's only 2 explanations. One is that Mo Yusheng is very close to him and the Pil King has a way to stabilize his foundation. The second. She didn't say it out loud, but Yi Mo knew that she meant the Pil King might have other plans for Mo Yusheng. Jingyingli said, if that's the case, Mo Yusheng is only famous in Pil City due to Pil King Changshun's name. Other Pil Kings and city lord managers won't take him very seriously. Pil King Changshun is at most a judge in the Pil King tournament. There's nearly 10 Pil Kings in Pil City who are more powerful than him. Yi Mo nodded. Jingyingli was saying that even if Mo Yusheng recognized him, he wouldn't be able to intervene. Even Pil King Changshun might not be able to stop him, much less Mo Yusheng. But there was something Jingyingli didn't say, and that was that Yi Mo had to achieve a good result in the tournament. Otherwise he could harm him, but Yi Mo understood this too. Okay, thank you, martial sister Jingli, for enlightening me. It was easier for Jingyingli to see this since she could look at it from a third-person perspective. Jingyingli smiled. I heard he's not in Pil City right now. I heard people say that Pil King Changshun went with him to the Golden Sword sect to propose to Xiao Shiyin. Yi Mo fell silent. From this, he could see how protective Pil King Changshun was of Mo Yusheng. But he soon got up and said to Jingyingli, "Martial sister Ingli, please take me to the signing up location." Jingyingli nodded and got up. It won't be easy to sign up for the Pil King tournament. You probably don't have the title of Pil King, so I'll take you to see someone now. It's a Qianbei of mine. Jingyingli continued saying, you must have the title of at least a level 7 or above Spirit Pill Master, yet you don't even have a level 7 Spirit Pill Master title, much less a Pil King title. How can you sign up? Jingyingli continued saying, you must have the title of at least a level 7 or above Spirit Pill Master, yet you don't even have a level 7 Spirit Pill Master title, much less a Pil King title. How can you sign up? My master is a Pil King, though, Xin Jida immediately said. Xin Jida was most proud of the fact that her master was a Pil King. But then Xin Jida immediately realized that just her knowing that her master was a Pil King wasn't enough. Pil City had to recognize it. Only those recognized by Pil City were real Pil Kings, and only those who could participate in the Pil King tournament. Jingyingli didn't keep explaining, seeing that Xin Jida had understood. Okay. Yi Mo knew that that was required. Jingyingli could tell that Yi Mo didn't really care about the Pil King tournament. He was participating simply to get a powerful identity. She was worried that if Yi Mo didn't take it seriously, he wouldn't use all of his skills. She thought for a moment before saying to Yi Mo, if you can get into the top 3, then even if you end up in a fight with Mo Yusheng, you won't need to worry. Usually, the top 3 of every tournament would either be invited to become an elder or paid guest somewhere. For example, Mo Yusheng's master came in 3rd in the tournament 50 years ago. Yi Mo thought for a moment and said, if it's just top 3 then I should be fine. Yi Mo wasn't bluffing. His pill concoction method came from the 3-birth chant. It was in accordance with the laws of the universe and the derivation of the 5 elements. Plus, he was a level 4 Pil King at the moment already, about the same level as that Pil King Changshun. He believed he wouldn't owe to anyone. Other people might need a few hundred to 1,000 years to reach level 5 from level 4, but he could potentially just need one night. This was the power of the 3-birth chant. Jingyingli also believed in Yi Mo, which was precisely why she was persuading Yi-Mo that if he couldn't get a top 3 spot, it would harm him to join this tournament. She smiled. If you get top 3, then even if you expose the heaven flame, no one would dare to do anything to you in Pill City. Furthermore, if you were to become famous in Pill City and became a higher up of the city, it would be very easy for you to walk around South P State. Everyone would have to greet you as Pill King. If you were to need a herb, just saying one word would have people bring it to you. This status is better than that of a 7-star sect leader. Yi-Mo gasped. He didn't think there would be this many benefits to being a Pill King of Pill City. But he knew that no matter how good he was at pill concoction, he was only at the nascent soul state, so he didn't dare to expose the heaven flame. Yi-Mo didn't intend to expose the heaven flame before reaching the body condensation state. Jingingli said, even if you don't get any rank in the tournament, as long as you get the Pill King title from Pill City, there will be countless people sucking up to you. The only concern is that if you don't get a rank, it will be very easy for Pill King Changshun to cause you trouble. I understand, please take me to that Qianbei. Yi-Mo nodded. Yi-Mo thought that the person who would be able to help him sign up would have some status and be living at the center of the city, but Jingingli took him around and stopped when they were almost at the corner of the city. They arrived at a very tattered forgery shop where an old man was making a middle-grade magic artifact. He seemed very focused. Yi-Mo really couldn't understand how a shop like this could earn money. Grandpa Lu, Wanbei Jingingli greets you. Jingingli was very respectful to the old man and bowed. Yi-Mo dazed. Was this the person Jingingli was asking for help? He quickly used his spirit sense to check the old man's power, but he found he couldn't see anything at all. He was immediately shocked. Yi-Mo was at nascent soul state level 4 and had even been able to vaguely discern the power level of those 2 truth realization state cultivators, but facing this old man, he couldn't see his power at all. Didn't that mean this old man was at least at the truth realization state of power? Little girl, why did you come to me again? The old man didn't seem very interested in Jingingli but then scanned Yi-Mo once, clearly knowing that Yi-Mo had scanned him with his spirit sense. Wanbei Yi-Mo greets Qianbei. Yi-Mo quickly bowed. The old man nodded at Yi-Mo and then said to Jingingli, tell me, what are you going to trouble me with again? Jingingli took a long gasp of relief hearing this and said, Grandpa Lu, this is my friend Yi-Mo. He wants to join the Pill King tournament, but his pill concoction skills haven't been recognized by Pill City yet. According to normal procedures, he would have to wait until after the tournament, so you want me to get him a Pill King title and help him sign up? The old man said in contempt. Jingingli was very calm. Yes, Grandpa Lu, Wanbei brought Auntie Yang's letter. Yi-Mo thought that this old man might not help him based on his tone, but hearing Jingingli's words, he was curious who this Auntie Yang was. The old man suddenly waved his hand. I'm not your Grandpa Lu, and you don't need to mention that, but... The old man suddenly looked at Yi-Mo and said, you have quite a future ahead of you, so I'll you give some face. You're Yi-Mo, right? Take this jade card and give it to the Pill Association people. Just say what you need. Then, he gave a blue jade card to Yi-Mo. You can keep this as a souvenir. Yi-Mo, remember, you owe me one. I'm not helping because of this girl, Jingingli. I'm helping because you asked me. Okay, go now, don't waste my forgery time. Jingingli and Yi-Mo looked at each other, unsure of the situation. But Jingingli quickly pulled Yi-Mo and bowed to the old man before leaving. Jingingli still felt awkward after a while. She had brought a letter to help Yi-Mo, but Yi-Mo didn't even need her help. This is the first time I've seen this old man, so I don't know why he's helping me, Yi-Mo said before Jingingli could ask. He didn't feel very happy about this Lu Qianbei's goodwill. In Yi-Mo's view, those who offered to help for no reason always had some motive. Lu Qianbei's doesn't do things normally, don't think too much about it. Let's go solve the problem at the Pill Association first, Jingingli persuaded. Who is he? Yi-Mo asked. Jingingli said with respect, Lu Qianbei's status in Pill City wouldn't be lower than the #1 pill masters. He has another title, Forgery God Lu. He's a level 9 Forgery Grand Master. The #1 person in South Peace State when it comes to forgery. Other than some higher-ups of Pill City, Rarely anyone knows he lives there. He's a level 9 forgery grandmaster. Yi Mo was shocked. When he went, the old man was forging a middle-grade magic artifact. Jing Yingli smiled. Did you think he was an ordinary forgery master because you saw him forging that magic artifact? If you knew what materials he was using, you wouldn't think like that. What materials? Yi Mo subconsciously asked. Lu Qianbei is using materials he picked up from the side of the road. These materials have no levels or use to cultivators. A block of earth, a rock, some grass, he can use all of it. Yi Mo took a breath in. He could concoct magic artifacts with anything. This was absurd. Even though he was a level 4 pill king, he couldn't concoct mortal-grade pills with weed. You were planning to take me to Lu Qianbei for forgery? Yi Mo remembered what Jing Yingli said before. Jing Yingli shook her head. Don't think about it. I'm taking you to another person now. I think I should go to this old man Lu for things related to forgery. But I'm not in a rush to have anything forged right now, so let's go sign up first. Yi Mo was no longer interested in other forgery masters after seeing old man Lu. I think I should go to this old man Lu for things related to forgery. But I'm not in a rush to have anything forged right now, so let's go sign up first. Yi Mo was no longer interested in other forgery masters after seeing old man Lu. Jing Yingli knew what Yi Mo was thinking and smiled. It'll be very hard to get Lu Wuhua Qianbei to forge for you. I don't know why he helped you today, but he never does a losing deal. You need to be careful. Yi Mo smiled and didn't put it to heart. Even if Lu Wuhua didn't do losing deals, he simply wouldn't give him a losing deal. If he could get a foothold in Pill City, he wouldn't mind helping Lu Wuhua concoct pills for 1 or 2 months. When we sign up, I will use the name Luo Xiaomo, Yi Mo said. Jing Yingli nodded. That's good, even if Mo Yushan were to recognize you, he doesn't know about Ning Xiaoma. Although the Pill Association was officially only a part of Pill City, almost all of the higher-ups of Pill City came from the Pill Association. The Pill Association building was the most grandiloquent structure in Pill City. When Yi Mo followed Jing Yingli into the Pill Association Tower, a middle-aged man came out. He was at the hollow spirit state but didn't look down on Yi Mo and Jing Yingli at all. He asked politely what they were there for. Yi Mo knew that although this hollow spirit state cultivator looked like an attendant, he was actually a guard. Qianbei, we have business with the Pill Association's vice leader who manages Pill Master Certificates, Jing Yingli said. The hollow spirit state cultivator looked at the two very young people. He could tell that they weren't too young either. But why were they looking for the Pill Master Verification Manager? Did they need a Spirit Pill Master Verification? The Hollow Spirit State Cultivator continued saying, sorry, before the Pill King tournament, the Spirit Pill Master and Pill King verification procedures are on hold. If you want a certificate, you have to wait until after the Pill King tournament. Jing Yingli seemed to know this would be the case, and she smiled. I know, but this is Luo Xiaomo. He came to find the Pill Association's vice leader, because he was sent here by a respected Qianbei. Please report for us. The Hollow Spirit State Cultivator looked suspiciously at Yi Mo but saw that Yi Mo had a calm face and nodded. Wait for a while. Then the Hollow Spirit State Cultivator left. Yi Mo and Jing Yingli didn't dare to use their spirit sense to scan the waiting hall, so they simply waited patiently. Not long after, the Hollow Spirit State Cultivator said, come with me please. The two followed the Hollow Spirit State Cultivator to a level 3 room and before they even went in, they sensed a dense herb aroma and spirit Kai. The Hollow Spirit State Cultivator said respectfully to the person inside, Manager Li, I've brought the visitors. I'll be leaving first. Then, a hoarse voice sounded, come inside. Yi Mo and Jing Yingli came in and saw a male cultivator studying a spirit herb. His hair was messy, but Yi Mo noticed he was at the body condensation state. Yi Mo knew what to do. Before the cultivator asked, he handed over the blue card and said, Lu Qianbei told Wanbei to come see the association leader, Lu Qianbei. Which Lu Qianbei? The cultivator took the card but there was some authority and pressure embedded in his question. Clearly, if Yi Mo and Jing Yingli tricked him, they might not be able to leave. Jing Yingli realized the reproachful tone and quickly said, Lu Wu Qianbei. You mean forgery god Lu Wu? The level 9 forgery Grand Master, the body condensation state cultivator's face immediately turned serious. Yes, that Lu Wu Qianbei. Martial brother Luo has some relations with Lu Wu Qianbei, so Lu Qianbei told me to bring brother Luo here to ask the association leader to get a pill master verification for brother Lu, so that he may join the Pill King tournament. Jing Yingli put it in such a way that it wasn't like Yi Mo had asked Lu Qianbei for help, but like Lu Qianbei had told Yi Mo to go there. Wait a while. The body condensation state cultivator immediately took out a communication rune. Yi Mo truly admired Lu Wu. Just his name was enough to make this body condensation state cultivator so nervous. This body condensation state cultivator clearly didn't even know that Lu Wu was in Pill City, which meant that he wasn't high level enough. 8 minutes later, an old man entered the room. His face was white, and he had no facial hair. He looked at Yi Mo and said, You're the pill master Lu Qianbei sent over? Yi Mo immediately replied, Yes, Qianbei. Wanbei was told to come here by Lu Qianbei to participate in the Pill King tournament, since I don't have a pill master verification from Pill City yet. The old man that had come was a cauldron filling state master. The old man had taken the blue card as he'd asked his question and now nodded. This jade card is indeed Lu Qianbei's. That is right. The old man didn't ask more about forgery god Lu and gave the blue card back to Yi Mo. Are you a Pill King already? If you're not a Pill King, there's no point in participating in the tournament. If you just want a spirit pill master verification, you can get that at any time. I want you to know that a favor from Lu Qianbei is not ordinary. It would be a waste to use it here. Yi Mo immediately replied, although Wanbei is not a Pill King yet, I often manage to concoct heaven-grade pills, so I want to try my luck. When the old man heard this, he nodded. In that case, concoct me some level 7 blue wen pills. Then the old man took out some herbs. Yi Mo took out an ordinary cauldron and used the purple flower fire. He didn't dare to use his heaven flame. Although he could concoct the blue wen pill without a rare flame, if he concocted it with just his soul fire, he would be questioned for sure. Jing Yingli knew Yi Mo had a heaven flame, so now that she saw Yi Mo take out another earth flame, she felt quite speechless. This guy was too wealthy. The purple flower flame, the old man and manager said in shock. Even in Pill City there were few people who owned rare flames. Yet a nascent soul state level 5 pill master could take out a purple flower flame? They clearly hadn't expected this. The cauldron filling state master, who didn't expect much from Yi Mo in the beginning, immediately started paying more attention. With Yi Mo's level 5 Pill King skills, he didn't even need to use effort to make blue wen pills. In less than 7 minutes, the pills were ready. Yi Mo made 9 pills and didn't make any special grade pills. He just made top grade pills. Not bad, you made top grade blue wen pills in such a short time. Your spirit herb refinement is very good, and you have a purple flower flame. You have a bright future ahead of you, the cauldron filling state master praised happily. Yi Mo had intentionally slowed his movements down, but his actions had still seemed to flow like water. The old man was an expert and could tell Yi Mo wasn't ordinary. Even the manager was sure that Yi Mo could concoct heaven-grade pills for sure. Okay, concoct another cauldron. The cauldron filling state cultivator just said this when he took out a communication bead, looked at it, and then his expression turned bad. Soon, he put it away and said to the body condensation state cultivator, help him apply for a level 7 spirit pill master certificate and let him enter next month's Pill King tournament. Yes, Elder Gu. The body condensation state man quickly bowed. The old man then looked at Yi Mo and said, after you finish the Pill King tournament, come get your Pill King verification. I'm sure you should be able to get it. But don't have too much hopes for the tournament itself, as you're still rather young after all. But you will have plenty of opportunities in the future, so don't fret. Young man, I look favorably upon you. The old man said this and then dashed out of the room. An hour later Yi Mo and Jing Yingli walked out of the Pill Association sighing. Having connections really made things a lot easier. An hour later Yi Mo and Jing Yingli walked out of the Pill Association sighing. Having connections really made things a lot easier. Yimo took out the jade card and smiled. I will keep using this help. Next time I need something, I will just use this jade card again. Jing Yingli looked at the card in confusion. It's really strange with Lu Qianbei's character for him to let you keep it. Just when Yimo wanted to reply, he saw the jade card crack and disappear into a pile of dust. Yimo cursed. This old guy was really stingy. He said one time, and it was indeed one time. Jing Yingli saw Yimo hold the cracked jade card in a daze and suddenly laughed. Everyone on the streets looked over, but when they saw the ugly Jing Yingli, they soon turned away. Jing Yingli didn't feel awkward at all and looked at the unsatisfied Yimo and felt she had never been so happy before. This was the first time she had laughed so happily. Ever since she could remember, she had never laughed so happily. Martial sister Yingli, a crisp voice sounded. She immediately felt awkward now that someone she knew had seen her laugh. So it's martial sister Pandai, Jing Yingli replied awkwardly. Yimo saw this person and was dazed. It was Heaven Star Sect's Yi Pandai. This is. Yi Pandai looked at Jing Yingli in confusion. Jing Yingli introduced and felt very strange. Yi Pandai usually would never ask about a male cultivator. Even if other male cultivators came to talk to her, she wouldn't give them any face. Although Yimo looked not bad now, but there were countless people more handsome than Yimo in the cultivation realm. Even the male cultivator next to Yi Pandai seemed more handsome than Yimo. Yimo hadn't told Jing Yingli about what had happened between him and Yi Pandai, but Jing Yingli didn't say his real name. She was extremely smart and from one simple sentence knew that the two must have met before. She said simply, "This is my friend, Luo Xiaomo. He's a solo cultivator." Luo Xiaomo? Yi Pandai repeated as she looked at Yimo. She asked about Yimo because she felt Yimo seemed familiar. It was a woman's instinct. After Yi Pandai repeated the name, she immediately realized she was being too abrupt. She smiled awkwardly at Jing Yingli and said, "I just felt like he was familiar. I thought I had seen him before." Yimo was shaken. He was sure his Kai and face were completely different to what he had looked like at the Truthful Palace, yet Yi Pandai still felt something. A woman's instinct was too terrifying, but he simply smiled and said, "Really? I often have this feeling too. Even though I might have never seen someone before, when we suddenly meet, it seems like I have always known them. Martial sister Jing, you still haven't introduced this beautiful girl to me." Yi Pandai heard this and her expression didn't seem too well. Yimo seemed too flirty, and she didn't like it. Before Yi Pandai answered Yimo, she said to Jing Yingli, "Martial sister Yingli, this is my martial brother Fengling. He's here for the Pill King tournament. I came here with him, but I didn't expect to see you here. What a coincidence." Yimo scanned this martial brother Fengling with his spirit sense. His power was higher than his. He was at nascent soul state level 7 even though he didn't seem very old. And he was a level 1 Pill King. His sect had probably not let him enter the Truthful Palace out of fear of losing a Pill King. In a big sect, a Pill King was much more valuable than a few core disciples. No wonder even Yi Pandai was by his side. Yimo approved of this Fengling's talent, being able to become a Pill King at such a young age. From this one could see the difference in power between South P State and North Far State. Yimo was at his level because he cultivated in the 3-birth chant. Jing Yingli didn't have any expression and said calmly, "Martial brother Feng isn't someone I can compare with." To be able to become a Pill King at such a young age. Yi Pandai saw the atmosphere didn't seem well and she quickly said, "Martial sister Yingli, the Pill King tournament is next month. Many Pill Kings are discussing pill concoction in the number 1 Pill Rest Tower. Martial brother Feng was invited, and I'm going with him. Do you want to come too?" A Pill Rest Tower was the same as a Spirit Rest Tower, but it was just called Pill Rest Tower here. If it were something else, Jing Yingli would have rejected, but she felt she couldn't decide about this. She subconsciously glanced at Yimo and said, "Xiaomo, what do you think?" Yimo hadn't seen the Pill Kings and Pill Masters of South P State, so since he was going to the tournament, he wanted to go. He immediately nodded. "Since there will be Pill Kings discussing pill concoction, we'll be able to learn a lot if we go. Let's go have a look." "Okay, then let's go together," Jingingli said to Yi Pandai. Yi Pandai was dazed. Although Jingingli was ugly, she was still a prodigy and was very prideful. Even her sister, Jing Yingmeng, wasn't able to beat her records, and she was a far cry from Jingingli, yet someone as prideful as Jingingli would ask for the opinion of a solo cultivator like Yi Mo? She really couldn't understand. And she had called Yi Mo intimately by his first name. She subconsciously looked at Yi Mo and realized that his power was higher than hers. He was at nascent soul state level 5. Only now did she realize that this Luo Xiaomo's talent was better than hers. Yi Mo wasn't as careful of Yi Pandai as of Ling Xiaoshuang. Ling Xiaoshuang knew his cultivation essence wave, but Yi Pandai didn't. The four went to the number 1 pill rest tower together. Yi Pandai was observing Yi Mo while she spoke to Jingingli. Even though Yi Mo's talent was better than hers, that wasn't enough reason for Jingingli to treat him so nicely. Who was Jingingli? If it wasn't for her keeping such a low profile, her fame would be greater than that of the South Peace State 10 beauties. Her talent was just too absurd, on par with Yuan Guannan. Brother Luo seems very interested in pill concoction. Fengling asked Yi Mo. Yi Mo nodded. Yeah, I really like pill concoction. Although I don't want to focus on it, I feel it's really convenient to know pill concoction. If Yi Mo didn't know pill concoction, he would have to go around buying pills and sucking up to pill kings. Oh, Fengling realized something. In that case, it seems Brother Luo came to Pill City to see the Pill King tournament. The participants are all the masters of pill concoction in South Peace State. Interested pill masters who go watch the tournament can indeed benefit a lot from it. If Brother Luo has anything you don't understand, I might be able to help a little. Yi Mo smiled but didn't say anything. Jingingli, however, turned around and said, Xiaomo is here for the tournament too. Hearing this, both Yi Pandai and Fengling were stunned. Fengling asked, Brother Luo, did you get a Pill King verification from Pill City? Yi Mo shook his head. No, I just got a level 7 Spirit Pill Master verification. Luckily, that's enough to join the tournament. So that's it. Fengling breathed a sigh of relief. He wanted to show his superiority in front of Yi Mo. There was a huge difference between a level 7 and a level 8 Pill Master, much less between a level 7 Spirit Pill Master and a Pill King. Yi Mo and the group of people soon arrived at the number 1 Pill Rest Tower. The place was very spacious, almost like a small square. When Yi Mo and company went in, there were already 100 Pill Masters present. Yi Mo and the group of people soon arrived at the number 1 Pill Rest Tower. The place was very spacious, almost like a small square. When Yi Mo and company went in, there were already 100 Pill Masters present. Yi Mo saw that these Pill Masters were grouped together in small groups, discussing or arguing energetically. There were even some Pill Masters concocting pills on the spot. The aroma of pills flowed out of every corner. 2 child pill servants stood at the door. When they saw Fengling and company arrive, they quickly bowed. Yi Mo thought Fengling would be showing them his invitation, but Fengling just showed his Pill King badge. Yi Mo saw this and showed his new badge to the child too. The child glanced at Yi Mo in confusion but still gave the badge back respectfully. Then the child yelled, Heaven Star Sect Level 1 Pill King Fengling and Solo Cultivator Level 7 Spirit Pill Master Luo Xiaomo have arrived. A lot of the Pill Masters inside turned back to look at them. Yi Pandai was speechless as she shook her head. Jingingli whispered into Yi Mo's ear, You didn't need to take out your badge. We could have come in just with Fengling's Pill King badge. Without him, you wouldn't have been able to come in just with the Level 7 Spirit Pill Master badge. Yi Mo put away his badge awkwardly. Dao friend Feng. Brother Feng. People started greeting Fengling immediately. Clearly, he enjoyed quite some fame. A lot of people even came up to greet Yi Pandai. But no one came up to Yi Mo and Jingingli. Jingingli was too ugly, and Yi Mo was a mere level 7 Spirit Pill Master. Of course no one would care. Fengling greeted those Pill Masters who greeted him and introduced Yi Mo and the others. On Fengling's account, a few Pill Masters finally greeted Yi Mo and Jingingli. Soon a small circle was formed, and people started discussing the Pill Dao. Yi Mo heard them talk about what pills they had made, what quality they had reached, or who would get into the top 10 at the tournament. Yimo felt that it was very boring after a short while. Just when Yimo wanted to leave, he heard some ruckus all of a sudden. The atmosphere at the gathering was actually very peaceful. People had different views, but it wasn't to the degree of sparking a heavy argument. So now that something was going on, everyone looked over immediately. A bald pill master suddenly got up and saluted with his fists to all the pill masters and said, "Pill Dao friends, the reason I'm arguing with Pill King Hu Wen is because he said that the spirit attraction grass can be put into a pill. He even said someone made the spirit weaving pill. I asked him to tell me which cultivator did this, and he said he didn't know but said it had been a North Far State cultivator." The bald cultivator then said even louder, "Everyone knows that the spirit attraction grass's properties can't be bound. Countless Chanbayas in the Pill Dao have proven this." Pill King Hu Wen tried to show off his knowledge by saying absurd things. We pill concoctors need to stay creative, but we also need to base our statements on facts. Otherwise we will be harming ourselves and others. I'm not looking down on the North Far State, but our South P State's cultivation and pill concoction level has always been number 1 in Luo Yu. Even if the spirit attraction grass can be put into a pill, would the North Far State succeed before us? That's right, I support Pill King Qi Yang. How can the spirit attraction herb be put into pill? There have been countless prodigy pill kings in the history of Luo Yu, yet they weren't able to put it in. The idea that someone from North Far State could put the spirit attraction herb into a pill is too funny, someone said. More and more people started agreeing. Yeah, even if it can be added to a pill, and even if the North Far State cultivator invented it, the pill recipe should have been passed on to Pill City already. I believe everyone knows how important this spirit weaving pill would be, so how come we still don't know about it? Yimo felt this was too funny. Yimo scrutinized the Pill King Hu Wen who was arguing in favor of him. His skin was a little dark, and he seemed like he was in his 50s. He had a searing heat around him. It was obvious that he had a rare flame. Seeing more and more people rebuke him, Pill King Hu Wen stood up furiously. Jiyu Wenqian, never bluff. The reason why the pill hasn't appeared in the South Peace State yet is because the cultivator who created it has disappeared. But his recipe has come out, and I have it. Haha, brother Hu Wen, I know you are not someone who lies easily, but I don't know where you got your news. Wouldn't everyone be looking for such a genius? But since you have the recipe, please concoct some for us to see, another cultivator said in contempt. I can't make it. Jiyu Wenqian's face went red. Before more people could start spewing words of scorn onto him, though, another young cultivator stood out all of a sudden. People stopped talking immediately. Yimo looked at this cultivator. He was already at the body condensation state, and his Kai seemed powerful. He had clearly eaten a pill similar to the face-preserving pill. Jingingli said to Yimo, "This is 8-star sect Heaven Herb Lake's prodigy, Ji Yuting. Level 4 Pill King Sheng Ting. He's said to be the most likely one to take first place in the tournament." Yimo was shocked. A level 4 Pill King and at the body condensation state middle stage? This was too absurd. Let's see what Pill King Sheng Ting has to say, one cultivator said. Ji Yuting nodded and looked at Jiyu Wenqian. Pill King Hu Wen, I trust your character, but what you're saying is too shocking. We all know that when the spirit attraction herb turns into liquid, the herbal qualities dissipate and can't be gathered. Even a level 9 Pill King wouldn't be able to gather the dissipating herbal qualities. Where did you hear about this? And what is the pill recipe like? Jiyu Wenqian calmed down and saluted with his fists. Pill King Sheng Ting, this is really true. I can't tell you where I got this news, but I can tell you that the person who created this pill is called Yimo. He used the spirit attraction grass to concoct the spirit weaving pill at the North Far State Pill Concoction Hall of Fame tournament. He used this method to get in first place. There was another wave of laughter, but Ji Yuting didn't scorn Jiyu Wenting. He asked carefully, "Oh, was this person a level 3 Pill King or above?" Jiyu Wenqian shook his head. "No, I heard he was only a spirit pill master, and when he made the spirit weaving pill, he was only at the foundation establishment state. I know what you are thinking, but even if we know the pill recipe, we won't be able to concoct it. It's not a matter of being pill king or pill master, because the spirit weaving pill requires a special pill concoction method. May I have a look at the recipe? Ji Yuting asked again. Ji Yu Wenqian didn't hesitate and took out the recipe, giving it to Ji Yuting. Jing Yingli, however, looked at Yi Mo in shock and sent a sound transmission to Yi Mo. The spirit weaving pill can really be made. She now realized that Yi Mo came from the North Far State and was the #1 pill concoction Hall of Fame pill master. It seemed Yi Mo was really famous in the North Far State. Yi Mo smiled bitterly at her and said out loud, "I believe it can be made. Otherwise Pill King who when wouldn't say this." Jing Yingli was smart and was startled immediately. She realized that a sound transmission wasn't very discreet in their current situation. Ji Yuting immediately looked at Yi Mo. "How do you know the spirit weaving pill can be made?" According to this pill recipe, the supposed method is very creative and imaginative, but it's impossible to make it. Clearly, he had heard Jing Yingli's sound transmission. "Insolent brat, he doesn't know the reaches of heaven," people said in contempt. Yi Mo's eyes went cold. A mere hollow spirit state primary stage dared to yell at him, but before he spoke, Jing Yingli took out her jade flute and released her power before sneering at that hollow spirit state cultivator. "Who do you think you are? What does what Xiaomo say have to do with you? Why be a rat?" Yi Mo's eyes went cold. A mere hollow spirit state primary stage dared to yell at him, but before he spoke, Jing Yingli took out her jade flute and released her power before sneering at that hollow spirit state cultivator. "Who do you think you are? What does what Xiaomo say have to do with you? Why be a rat?" Yi Mo saw this and knew that Jing Yingli was on the border of breaking through. Thinking that she came back to help him before she broke through to hollow spirit state, Yi Mo was very grateful. "Who are you?" That pill master wanted to suck up to Ji Yuting and Qi Yang Pill King and reproached Yi Mo as Yi Mo was announced to be a solo cultivator. Jing Yingli sneered, "You don't deserve to ask who I am, sycophantic trash." The pill master's face went red and was about to attack, but Ji Yuting smiled and said, "If I'm not wrong, you must be Jing Yingli of Abstruse Sound Sect." That hollow spirit state cultivator heard the words Abstruse Sect and immediately shivered. His anger disappeared. "Yes, Jing Yingli greet Sheng Ting Pill King." Jing Yingli quickly saluted. Although Ji Yuting was from 8-star sect, his status was superior. She deigned dare to be rude to him. A level 4 Pill King was enough for all sects to suck up to. Abstruse Sound Sect was of no exception. Ji Yuting smiled and nodded to Jing Yingli before weaving a few hand signs. The spirit weaving pill recipe soon appeared in the air. He then saluted with his fists and said, "Although I believe this pill isn't able to be made since who when Pill King is so certain, I will show everyone this pill recipe. The Pill King who can concoct this recipe I'm willing to serve as my master. Heaven Herb Lake's herb garden will be free of access to him." Ji Yuting said this and the atmosphere in here heated up. Almost all cultivators believed spirit weaving pill was impossible, but if one could really let Ji Yuting serve him as master, then it would be a bright future ahead. Jing Yingli looked at Yi Mo with curious eyes, but Yi Mo sneered in contempt. Ji Yuting can dream about being his disciple. As for the herb garden, although he wanted some but he didn't care much. He earned a lot from the Truthful Palace. To be honest, Ji Yuting's last actions left a bad impression to Yi Mo. He didn't even ask for Zhen Wenqian's permission and just publicized the pill recipe. Nicely put, it was for everyone to study, but in uglier terms it was not considering Ji Yu Wenqian at all. He was obviously someone who only cared about himself. Despite everyone knew that it couldn't be made, Pill Master still started trying. Yi Mo had lost interest in this pill discussion. Just when he wanted to go, Ji Yu Wenqian walked up to him and saluted with his fists. "Pill Master Luo, when everyone thought I was bullshitting, why do you think that I'm telling the truth?" Yi Mo smiled. "If I say that I admire brother Ji Yu and I believe you're telling the truth, would you believe me?" Ji Yu Wenqian laughed in self-mockery. "Although I'm a level 2 Pill King, I'm no different from an solo cultivator. Nor am I famous. I wouldn't believe that Pill Master Luo would be admiring me." Yi Mo showed his hands. "Then that's right. I believe it can be put into a pill as well, just like you brother Ji Yu." But it would be extremely hard even for a pill king to form Spirit Kai whirlpool inside a cauldron, much less inside a pill, and use the Spirit Kai whirlpool to keep the spirit attraction herb's medical properties. If Pill Master Yi knows the answer, please enlighten me. Jiyu Wenqian knew the spirit weaving pill was made but just didn't know how. Yi Mo could tell Jiyu Wenqian's tone was genuine and immediately realized that he really wanted an answer from him. He didn't look down on him because he was a spirit pill master. Yi Mo smiled and didn't reply to Jiyu Wenqian. He turned and said to Jing Yingli, "Martial sister Jing, let's go." Although Jiyu Wenqian's tone was genuine, there was no way he was going to teach him how to concoct the spirit weaving pill so easily. If he was in a stable situation, the spirit weaving pill would be a money-making machine. It didn't mean the higher level the pill the easier to sell. The general public money was the most profitable. He was planning to use spirit weaving pill to develop Mo Yu City. How could he tell Jiyu Wenqian just because he seemed nice? Jing Yingli followed without hesitation. Feng Ling was studying the spirit weaving pill recipe and didn't mind the two leaving. Ji Yuting frowned and looked at Yi Mo. The reason he took out the pill recipe and even said the master thing was to make Yi Mo concoct the pill. Because the certainty with which Yi Mo replied to Jing Yingli made him doubt why a level 7 spirit pill master had such faith in the spirit weaving pill. But Yi Mo turned away and left without hesitation. He thought about and it realized that Yi Mo was only a level 7 spirit pill master. Yi Mo agreed to just show how unique he was. It didn't really mean that Yi Mo believed the pill could be made. He never even saw the pill recipe before. Yi Pandai could only bid farewell to Jing Yingli. The pill masters in Pill Rest Tower kept studying the pill recipe. Jiyu Wenqian frowned and looked as Yi Mo left. He was thinking about seething and after a while, his face changed drastically and immediately chased out. "Yi Mo, did you really concoct the spirit weaving pill?" After going very far, Jing Yingli asked Yi Mo quietly. Yi Mo knew he couldn't hide this from her. He didn't realize the huge commercial potential of the spirit weaving pill when he made it, but now he did. The only pity was that he didn't have his land nor the power to sell the spirit weaving pill. Now that Jing Yingli asked, he didn't need to hide it from her. She knew a lot of secrets about him. If she wanted to betray him, she would have done so already. So he nodded yes, "I made it, and when I have enough power I plan to push it at Mo Yu City." This wasn't the first time Jing Yingli was defeated by Yi Mo. The problem that all those pill kings and ancient pill kings couldn't solve was solved easily by Yi Mo. Suddenly, Yi Mo turned around and saw a cultivator chasing over. Jing Yingli also noticed this afterwards. She was more and more impressed with Yi Mo. She was higher power level than him, but he found that someone was chasing them first. The cultivator was level 2 pill king Jiyu Wenqian. He immediately walked up to Yi Mo and knelt down. Yi Mo was shook. He couldn't take this in the pill city. He quickly pulled Jiyu Wenqian up and looked around, but someone already noticed. "Hu Wen Pill King, what are you doing?" Jing Yingli looked at Jiyu Wenqian in shock. He was Hollow Spirit State peak stage. How could he kneel down to a level 7 spirit pill master and nascent soul state cultivator? Before Jiyu Wenqian could speak, Yi Mo stopped him. "No need to speak now. If you want to speak, then come with me or never talk to me again." He knew that Jiyu Wenqian realized he was Yi Mo, so he had to take Jiyu Wenqian away first. Jiyu Wenqian heard this and calmed down gradually. He nodded and said quietly, "Yes, Qian Bei." When the three arrived at the yard and Jiyu Wenqian saw the level 5 defense formation, the fervor in his eyes grew. Xin Jida was still practicing pill concoction, so Yi Mo didn't call her. He shut the defense formation and walked in the yard asking, "Hu Wen Pill King, who told you?" Jiyu Wenqian immediately became excited upon hearing this. He now knew he had guessed right. This young man really was the creator of the spirit weaving pill. Yi Mo, that brilliant and talented pill master, stood before his own eyes. Jiyu Wenqian immediately became excited upon hearing this. He now knew he had guessed right. This young man really was the creator of the spirit weaving pill. Yi Mo, that brilliant and talented pill master, stood before his own eyes. Jiyu Wenqian's tone actually turned shaky as he bowed with respect and said, "I didn't expect Qianbei to be the creator of the spirit weaving pill." Wanbei Jiyu Wenqian greets Yi Qianbei. Every cultivator would understand the value of the spirit weaving pill, but as a pill king he also knew what the spirit weaving pill's concoction method meant. This was a new pill concoction system. It was completely different from traditional pill concoction methods. If all pills could be made with the means of the spirit weaving pill, then cultivators could digest pills more completely. Little did Jiyu Wenqian know that Yi Mo didn't think of using his method for other pills. After all, the traditional method was simpler and not as taxing on spirit sense. In any case, it was because Jiyu Wenqian knew this that he had such respect for Yi Mo and called Yi Mo Qianbei despite being so much older than him. He wanted to immediately become Yi Mo's disciple. Even if Yi Mo was a level 7 spirit pill master, as long as he could learn the method of spirit Kai whirlpool pill concoction, he would be able to become a level 3 pill king and even higher. That's right, I'm Yi Mo, the creator of the spirit weaving pill. Tell me where you heard of this first and how you recognized that I'm Yi Mo. Yi Mo looked calmly at Jiyu Wenqian. Yet he wasn't calm at all. He knew that his identity would eventually be exposed. As time went on, there would be more and more people who realized he was Yi Mo. If the Lightning Cloud sect found out about this and thought about it, they would realize that the time when he came to the South Peace State was about the same time as when Tian Aofeng died. If they found Cheng Yugang and Zheng Yidao, it would pretty much confirm that he was the culprit. The two knew his battle power, being able to instantly kill Fu Rong, who was at Golden Core State level 9. He had departed from Mohai City, and to go to South Peace City from there, he would have to pass the Heartless Sea. This would connect all the missing links. So Yi Mo could only hope that the two didn't fall into the hands of the Lightning Cloud sect. He was too soft. If it were for a cruel cultivator, he would have killed the two. Qianbei, Wanbei wants to serve Qianbei as master, Jiyu Wenqian said. Yi Mo sneered and didn't talk. Jing Yingli said plainly, Pill King Hu Wen, do you think that Yi Mo wouldn't reject you just because you're a level 2 Pill King? No, but Wanbei truly admires Yi Qianbei, Jiyu Wenqian quickly explained. He really didn't think like that. He was simply obsessed with pills. His determination wasn't something that ordinary people could understand. Jing Yingli said plainly, Yi Mo is actually a level 5 Pill King. Do you think he would care about a mere level 2 Pill King disciple? Heh! Jiyu Wenqian was dazed. Although he had figured out that Yi Mo could create the spirit weaving pill, he didn't expect Yi Mo would be a level 5 Pill King at such a young age. This gave him the same level of shock as the spirit weaving pill. Even in Pill City, level 5 or higher Pill Kings could be counted with one hand. Seeing this shock, Jing Yingli felt very satisfied. She was defeated by Yi Mo again and again, and now she got to see this level 2 Pill King defeated too. Yi Mo looked speechlessly at Jing Yingli. Although he estimated he could concoct a heaven-grade level 5 pill, he hadn't made one yet. Jing Yingli had a good look at Jiyu Wenqian's shocked state before throwing a hollow meridian pill to him. Look, this is the hollow meridian pill Yi Mo made. Do you think a level 4 Pill King can make this? The hollow meridian pill was a heaven-grade level 4 pill and required a level 4 Pill King to concoct, but when Jiyu Wenqian saw the pill Jing Yingli showed, he was shocked again. This was special grade. Jing Yingli was right. It was too hard for a level 4 Pill King to concoct a special grade hollow meridian pill. Jiyu Wenqian carefully gave the pill back to Jing Yingli and bowed to Yi Mo. Wanbei. Jiyu Wenqian greets Pill King Yi Mo. Qianbei, please take me in as a disciple, Qianbei. He knelt on the ground once again. Jiyu Wenqian knew that only Yi Mo could let him achieve higher states. If he didn't grab this chance, he would be stuck as a level 2 Pill King for the rest of his life. Seeing Jiyu Wenqian be this persistent, Yi Mo was speechless. He waved his hand and said, answer my questions first. We'll talk about that later. Yes. Jiyu Wenqian knew he couldn't give Yi Mo a bad impression of him, so he said, 3 months ago, when I was delivering pills to 8-star sect Heartless Valley, I saw a female cultivator from the North Far State. She was very young but was a level 1 Pill King already. Wait, Yi Mo stopped Jiyu Wenqian here. That female cultivator was from the North Far State and a level 1 Pill King? Don't you have to be a level 3 Pill King to be able to use the teleportation formation to come to the South Peace State? Jiyu Wenqian shook his head. I don't know how she came over, But that female cultivator was indeed a level 1 pill king and just became a disciple of the Heartless Valley. Because of this, I don't need to deliver heaven-grade level 1 and level 2 pills anymore. Heartless Valley clearly was no ordinary sect for a level 2 pill king to be delivering pills to them. Because I have been collaborating with them, they treated me well. They took in a new pill king disciple and asked me to give her a few pointers. I found that young pill king was on my level. In a few years she will be a level 2 pill king for sure. When we discussed which pill master she respected the most, I thought she would say Kong Yi, yet she said a name I had never heard of. She said your name, Yi Qianbei, Jiyu Wenqian responded. When I asked her who Yi Mo was, she said Yi Mo was the genius cultivator who had put spirit attraction grass into a pill to make the spirit weaving pill. She said you had disappeared ever since leaving the herb plain. If it wasn't that I can't go to the North Far State, I would have gone there to look for Qianbei immediately. In order to emphasize how young Qianbei was, she even drew your face, Jiyu Wenqian said. Yi Mo frowned. He should know such a young pill king if she knew him so well. What's her name? Which sect in the North Far State did she come from? Yi Mo asked again. Jiyu Wenqian answered, she was from the North Far State 5-star sect Immortal Herb Valley, Qin Mushin. So it was her. She had been a level 7 spirit pill master more than 10 years ago. It was normal that she had reached the level 1 pill king level now. She had a rare flame too. Her master, Ming Xin, had planned to marry her to him, but he had rejected it. I knew pill king Mushin couldn't be lying to me, but I still couldn't believe the existence of the spirit weaving pill. I am really excited to meet Qianbei today. Jiyu Wenqian still hadn't calmed down yet. Yi Mo admired Jiyu Wenqian's spirit and gave a spirit weaving pill to him. No need to doubt any longer then. I have changed the recipe of the pill since then. The current one is better. Jiyu Wenqian threw the pill in his mouth immediately and said with excitement after a moment, it really is spirit attraction grass in a pill and the digestion rate is 90%. Yi Mo saw his face and knew he wanted to bring up the master thing again, so he quickly waved his hand. Let's not talk about the master thing yet. Which sect are you from? Wanbei is a solo cultivator. I've been living at the Blue Lake by myself. I came to Pill City to participate in the Pill King tournament as well, Jiyu Wenqian replied carefully. A solo cultivator? Yi Mo nodded. I have offended a lot of people, most of which are part of big power factions. If you follow me, you may lose your life at any time. Are you prepared for that? Jiyu Wenqian immediately said, even if you kill me immediately, I won't so much as frown. Okay, then move in here for now. After the Pill King tournament, I will decide whether I take you in as a disciple, Yi Mo said. If Jiyu Wenqian was truly loyal, he could bring him along to Mo Yu City. A Pill King would benefit Mo Yu City greatly. Who is that Qin Mushin? Do you know her? Jing Yingli felt happy about Yi Mo taking in Jiyu Wenqian. She was also curious about that Qin Mushin, as she had to know Yi Mo really well to say something like that. Who is that Qin Mushin? Do you know her? Jing Yingli felt happy about Yi Mo taking in Jiyu Wenqian. She was also curious about that Qin Mushin, as she had to know Yi Mo really well to say something like that. Just an ordinary friend, someone I know, Yi Mo said casually, and then he looked at Jing Yingli and said, Martial Sister Jing, thank you for your help. Now that I got the spot in the tournament, if you have things to do, you can leave first, but if you're free, you can form your essence spirit and break through to the hollow spirit state. Jing Yingli nodded. I have nothing in particular to do. I was scared of messing up your sign-up before, so I didn't break through, but now I can break through. That day, Yi Mo, Jiyu Wenqian, and Jing Yingli left Pill City. They went tens of thousands of kilometers away from the city as Jing Yingli began to break through. Yi Mo helped her set up a spirit gathering formation and protected Jing Yingli with Jiyu Wenqian. Jing Yingli was from a 9-star sect and had an extreme-grade spirit artifact armor. Her flute was a low-grade cultivation artifact. She also had another half-cultivation artifact shield. The hollow spirit state Divine Damnation was a 9/9 Divine Damnation, but it didn't threaten Jing Yingli at all. Yi Mo saw that she wasn't struggling to survive like him, so he didn't help. He saw Jing Yingli's divine damnation had the same amount of lightning bolts as his, but his had been even more powerful than hers. Now he realized that his divine damnation was a level higher than other people's. Jing Yingli's divine damnation attracted many cultivators, but most of them were nascent soul state and golden core state cultivators wanting to observe a hollow spirit state divine damnation. With Yi Mo and the hollow spirit state peak stage Jiyu Wenqian guarding, no one dared to do anything. Only when her divine damnation was over did some higher level cultivators come. One day later, Jing Yingli successfully stabilized her power and became a hollow spirit state level 1 cultivator. "Sister, you're already at the hollow spirit state," another voice sounded. Yi Mo didn't need to look to know who it was. It was Jing Yingmeng. Yi Mo felt there was something strange between the sisters, but he never asked. Jing Yingmeng wore a green dress and flew over like a butterfly. There was a body condensation state old man behind her. That old man saw Jing Yingli and bowed. "I greet Miss Yingli. Sect leader heard that you were undergoing your divine damnation outside the city. He told you to go to the sect's quarters in the city afterwards." Jing Yingli frowned. "Is my father there?" "Yes, sister, many sects are coming to the Pill King tournament and our sect wants to hire a few Pill King guest elders too." "So father brought many elders over," Jing Yingmeng answered. Then she said, "Sister, how can you have your divine damnation outside? It's too dangerous. But I'm really happy that you reached the hollow spirit state." Jing Yingli looked at Jing Yingmeng and said plainly, "Thank you, but I had my friends to protect me, it's fine." Then Jing Yingli glared and nodded at Yi Mo. Jing Yingmeng saw this and walked over, bowing to the two. "Thanks for helping my sister, I'm very grateful." Yi Mo smiled and didn't speak, but Jiyu Wenqian quickly said, "It is my honor to be able to protect Miss Yingli." Jing Yingmeng frowned. Yi Mo was only at nascent soul state level 5, yet this Jiyu Wenqian was a hollow spirit state cultivator without a doubt. Yet Yi Mo didn't care about her gratitude. Was he like her, the young master of a 9-star sect? Jing Yingli didn't introduce the two to each other. She walked up to Yi Mo and said, "Xiaomo, Pill King Hu Wen, I'll be going back to my sect. We will meet again. I hope you guys do well in the tournament." Yi Mo said, "Martial sister Jing, thanks a lot, if it wasn't for you, I would still be cluelessly running around here." Jing Yingli smiled. "Just call me martial sister Yingli. I'm going first. I will cheer you on the day of the tournament." Then she left with the body condensation state man and her sister. "Sister, did you call that cultivator Pill King Hu Wen? Blue Lake Pill King Hu Wen?" Jing Yingmeng finally reacted and asked in shock. Jing Yingli nodded casually. "Yes, his Pill King Hu Wen." "Then who was the young man called Xiaomo? Is he Pill King Hu Wen's disciple? Why was he rude? Pill King Hu Wen spoiled him." Then she asked in shock, "Did Pill King Hu Wen help you concoct your hollow meridian pill?" Jing Yingli said calmly, "I traded for the pill with my herbs. As for Pill King Hu Wen, he's only a level 2 Pill King and can't concoct the hollow meridian pill yet." Jing Yingmeng sighed and looked strangely at Jing Yingli, saying, "Sister, I feel like you changed a lot ever since coming out of the Truthful Palace. Is that young cultivator the person you like? He's only at nascent soul state level 5, but his master is quite good. You're really lucky to know Pill King Hu Wen Pill King. If he could." Jing Yingmeng stopped, knowing that her sister would understand what she meant even if she didn't continue. Jing Yingli did know what she meant. She wanted Hu Wen to become a hired guest elder at their abstruse sound sect. Before today, Jing Yingli wouldn't know what Pill King Hu Wen would think about it, but now she knew he wasn't going to leave Yi Mo for anything. If Yi Mo agreed to take Hu Wen in as a disciple, even Pill City wouldn't be able to keep him. Seeing that Jing Yingli didn't comment, Jing Yingmeng asked quietly, "Sister, do you really like that cultivator called Xiaomo?" Jing Yingli was dazed. She had never thought about it. She knew that she was ugly, but if it was an ordinary cultivator, she wouldn't think she didn't deserve that person because of her looks. But facing Yi Mo, she felt she didn't deserve him no matter how she looked. This had nothing to do with looks. She didn't think her sister, who was ranked 4th on the South P State 10 beauty list, deserved Yi Mo either. This had nothing to do with looks. I don't deserve him, Jing Yingli said calmly. What? Jing Yingmeng looked at Jing Yingli in a stupor. She would have never believed these words would come out of her sister's mouth. She thought Jing Yingli was talking about her looks. Ever since she could remember, her sister Jing Yingli had never admitted defeat. She wouldn't feel insecure about her looks in front of anyone. Even she knew she couldn't beat her sister in anything other than looks. Yet her sister had said today she didn't deserve someone. 6 years ago, 8-star sect Golden Sword sect's core disciple Xiao Fei came to propose to their sect. Everyone thought he was there to propose to Jing Yingmeng, but he was in love with Jing Yingli. Yet to this Golden Core State Hall of Fame number 2 cultivator, Jing Yingli just said, "You don't deserve me." Xiao Fei fled in shame. Jing Yingmeng looked at her sister in confusion. She didn't understand what means that young cultivator used to make her sister admire him like this. Jing Yingmeng looked at her sister in confusion. She didn't understand what means that young cultivator used to make her sister admire him like this. But then she said it's just another cultivator who judges based on looks. Wait till his master who we goes to the tournament, I will go test him. How could Jing Yingli not know what Jing Yingmeng meant? She wanted to see if Yi Mo was someone to judge based on looks and then ridicule him. Jing Yingli glanced at Jing Yingmeng and said, "You don't deserve him as well." Huh. Jing Yingmeng's face burst red. She knew she wasn't as talented as Jing Yingli, but she wasn't worse than any other woman in looks. Just like Jing Yingli, she was also very prideful. This was the first time she heard that she didn't deserve a man. If it wasn't Jing Yingli who said this, she would have raged already. Immediately, the atmosphere between the two sisters grew dense and the guard seemed to be used to this and didn't say anything. After Jing Yingli left, Yi Mo didn't stay as well. He went back to the small yard with Jiyu Wenqian. He gave him a few pointers and told him to concoct pills with Xin Jida. Meanwhile, Yi Mo used time to cultivate. Nascent Soul State Level 5 was something in the North Far State, but this was the South Peace State. 20 days passed quickly. Although Yi Mo had large amounts of spirit stones and the bitter bamboo as well as nascent soul pills, he was still Nascent Soul State Level 5. Large amounts of spirit stones turned into dust, but it didn't supply him much spirit energy. Yi Mo knew that if he kept cultivating using the spirit range it wouldn't work. It might even cause the bitter bamboo to wither. Yi Mo left the Golden Page world and didn't continue cultivation. He needed to find a new spirit range or his progress would be very hard. He knew he was only Nascent Soul State Level 5 now. What if he was Nascent Soul State Tertiary Stage or even Hollow Spirit State, Master? Jiyu Wenqian immediately came out seeing that Yi Mo came out. Yi Mo didn't agree to take him in as a disciple, but he already placed himself in a disciple's position. How is it? Yi Mo casually asked. He taught Jiyu Wenqian some new pill concoction means and asked how he was progressing. Jiyu Wenqian immediately said, "It's the first time I've seen the spirit sense pill concoction means. It's simple but has strict requirements for spirit sense. It not only requires powerful spirit sense but also an agile one. Wenqian is dumb and I don't completely understand it yet." Yi Mo nodded. The spirit weaving pill is made with the spirit sense pill concoction means. If you can't master the spirit sense pill concoction means, you can't make the spirit weaving pill at all. This involves a spirit sense cultivation method. After the tournament I will teach you a spirit sense cultivation method. Yes, thank you, Master. Jiyu Wenqian replied excitedly. Jiyu Wenqian knew the value of spirit sense cultivation method. It was kept by those big sects in Luoyu continent. There was no way for ordinary people to get it. I'm going out. While I'm not here, you need to teach Jida. Yi Mo didn't have time to teach Xin Jida. It was best for Jiyu Wenqian to do such things. Yes, Master. Jiyu Wenqian replied without hesitation. After Yi Mo left, he went to Lu Wu's forgery shop. He wanted to know why this Lu Wu treated him differently. Yi Mo wasn't afraid of debt, but he didn't feel comfortable about an unknown debt. But Yi Mo was disappointed to find that the shop was closed. He was opening a shitty shop and closed every few days. It would be strange if he had any business. May I ask where the owner of this shop went? Just when Yi Mo was prepared to go, he heard a soft voice. Yimo turned around and saw two pretty female cultivators. The older one was hollow spirit state but still looked like a young girl. The younger female cultivator was golden core state level 9. Yimo looked dazedly at the door and forgot to answer them. His attention was on the logo on their clothes. Ethereal Immortal Pond. Yimo knew this logo all too well. Ning Qingxue was at this sect, he didn't expect to meet sect members here. Yimo immediately thought of the Pill King tournament. Did that mean Qingxue was here too? Thinking about this, his heart began skipping very fast and his eyes were searing hot, forgetting that this glance was very rude. The older female cultivator sneered and said to the girl, Chen Chen, let's go. At this moment, Yimo reacted and quickly stopped the two. He saluted with his fists politely and asked two martial sisters, are you from the Ethereal Immortal Pond? So what if we are? The older female cultivator was impatient. She was about to release her magic artifact. Yimo quickly said, sorry about before, I didn't mean to offend you too. I want to ask about someone. Did Ning Qingxue come to the Pill City this time? The younger girl looked at Yimo in contempt and suddenly said, you dare to ask about martial sister Qingxue with your frog-like look? Idiot. Why are you even talking to this sort of person? Chanshan, let's go. The older woman said and pulled the younger girl away. Yimo didn't expect the owner of that soft voice was so horrendous. He looked at where the two left and didn't move for a long while. No matter what, he was going to become famous this Pill King tournament and make 9-star sect have some respect for him. Then, he would bring Luo Ying and Qingxue to his side. Yimo believed it was better for them to stay with him rather than at some 8-star 9-star sect. What, you got rejected? When Yimo was still at loss, another crisp female voice sounded but far from as sound as the soft voice. Yimo knew this female cultivator, it was Jing Yingmeng. Although Yimo didn't know why Jing Yingli didn't like her sister, but Jing Yingli was his friend and he stood on her side. Plus, Jing Yingmeng threatened him at the Truthful Palace, so he had a bad impression of her. Jing Yingmeng was indeed very pretty and had this faint mist covering her as though she was a goddess. This might make other male cultivators chase her, but Yimo didn't like it at all. So, Yimo wasn't interested into talking to Jing Yingmeng at all. He wasn't someone who judged based on looks. Pretty women were pleasant to look at, but if it was a woman like Liu Manxiang, he thought it dirtied his hand to kill her. For someone like Jing Yingli, it wasn't uncomfortable to stay with her no matter how ugly she was. Your master seems to treat you really well. Jing Yingmeng asked Yimo. Yimo shook his head and turned to walk away. Wait. Jing Yingmeng came here for Lu Wu as well. She felt strange, she was much prettier than the two cultivators before, but why did this guy treat her with such attitude? What do you want? Yimo stopped and said indifferently. Jing Yingmeng was annoyed by this question but quickly calmed down. She smiled sweetly to Yimo. You're my sister's friend, so you're my friend. If you don't mind, let's go have a seat in the Spirit Rest Tower. Yimo said indifferently. I'm your sister's friend, how did I become your friend? I don't think I'm friends with you and I'm not in the mood to go Spirit Rest Tower. Then, Yimo dashed and disappeared. He used 5-element mobility. What mobility technique is this? Jing Yingmeng murmured as she looked at the direction. Yimo disappeared in shock. Pill City was the busiest place in South Peace State now. Even the Dao discussion a few years ago at South Peace City wasn't as busy as this Pill King tournament. Pill City was the busiest place in South Peace State now. Even the Dao discussion a few years ago at South Peace City wasn't as busy as this Pill King tournament. Pill King tournament was once every 50 years, and with this many Pill King and Pill Masters gathered here, it was equivalent to having more than 90% of the Pill Master in South Peace State here. With this many Pill Kings gathered here, of course they're not just going to discuss Pill Dao before the tournament. Many Pill King and Pill Master went to the market and opened their roadside stall. This place became the best palace for all cultivators to look for the pills they want. Cultivators who had many years of spirit stone stores came here to test their luck. Some cultivators with rare spirit herbs would ask pill masters to concoct for them now or exchange it for the pills they need. Those big sects won't miss this opportunity, as during this time, a lot of unknown pill kings would emerge, and they were what the big sects pursued. In order to invite them to be their paid guest, the big sects did all they could. Even if some small sects couldn't get pill kings, they would still target high-level pill masters. Thus, this pill king tournament involved almost all the cultivators of the South Peace State. The pill city wasn't small, but with so many cultivators suddenly emerging, it soon became too full. Many cultivators had to wait outside the city. Yi Mo felt at this moment how lucky he was to have a place to stay. Many sects stayed at the pill city and thus resulted in the prodigy sect members to visit each other. Ethereal Immortal Pond was 8-star sect, but because they were all female disciples and all of them were very pretty, many core disciples of big sects went to visit their place. If they could find a dual cultivation partner there, it was not only honor but luck. Ning Qingxue didn't want to come, but her master said there would be a lot of elite sect members coming and it would be beneficial to know a few pill masters and genius sect members. Although Ning Qingxue didn't care about this, but she knew her master was doing this for her well-being. And, almost all the core disciples of the sect came. If she didn't it would be too antisocial. So she came with her sect to the pill city. After she came here, she went and asked about Luo Ying and knew that she was in solitary cultivation for forming nascent soul. Bai Wei had to stay with her, so she didn't come as well. Because of this, she didn't want to go out anymore, so she stayed at her sect place. Thus, although there were a lot of cultivators visiting Ethereal Immortal Pond, not many could get to see South Peace State ranked 3rd beauty Ning Qingxue. Sister Qingxue, there are a lot of pill kings and pill master discussing Dao at the pill rest tower. Master told us to go see as well to connect with some pill masters. Huang Qian came and said. Ning Qingxue was only golden core state level 6 right now because she came into the sect for a short time. I don't want to go, you guys can go. Ning Qingxue rejected, but master told us to go together. Huang Ping said troublesomely. Suddenly she thought of something funny and said, Sister Qingxue, you don't know, today when I went with Marshal Uncle Tongbing to find Lu Qianbei, we encountered a man asking about you. It was so funny, I called him an ugly toad at the time. Ning Qingxue shook her head. No need to say that, let's go in case master tells me off again. There were all too many people asking about her, how could she care about all of them? Huang Ping said this to cheer her up. Pill Rest Tower became even busier than before. Some pill master wanted to use the power of sects to let them reach greater heights. So they weren't just here for pill discussion but also to meet the elite sect members of big sects. The elite members of the big sects had similar thoughts. They wanted to connect with some pill master or pill king to build the path for their future cultivation. Although sects would provide pills, it was better to know a pill king. After all, he only needed to supply the spirit herb and the pill king could help him concoct pills. It was more worth than handing up spirit herb for sect points. Ning Qingxue and a few Ethereal Immortal Pond disciples immediately caught the attention of everyone when they came to the Pill Rest Tower. There was about 200 Pill King and Pill Masters here today and more big sect cultivators. Luckily this place was very spacious and didn't seem crowded. Marshal Sister Qingxue, long time no see, you were only Golden Core State level 3 last time but now you're Golden Core State level 6. I feel like you're the real prodigy cultivator. A blue-robed young male cultivator walked over and greeted. This man was Fang Zedhongsha, the core disciple of the Lightning Cloud sect. Last time, Susu told him off for calling her Marshal Sister Qingxue. Susu's sister wasn't here today but he still called her Marshal Sister Qingxue. Ning Qingxue frowned. Qingxue isn't something you can call, please be respectful. Qingxue, young master, Fang's master went to our place yesterday and proposed to your master and Marshal Uncle Yin. A female cultivator from Ethereal Immortal Pond whispered to Ning Qingxue. She wanted to remind Ning Qingxue not to make things too awkward. But as soon as she said this, Ning Qingxue sneered at Fang Zhongsha. Fang Zhongsha, I already have a husband. Stop trying to chase me or do something as pointless as proposing. I suggest you save your time and don't be hard on yourself. Although cultivators didn't fuss with customs too much, but female cultivator would usually be embarrassed talking about her marriage. But Ning Qingxue loudly declared that she had a husband. Last time, Luo Susu said she had a husband at the trial tablet square and people discussed it a lot before it calmed down. Many people believed Luo Susu was lying as no one knew her husband. Fang Zhongshe dazed and his face burst red. Martial sister Qingxue, I think you know my heart for you. Although I may not be the #1 genius in South Peace State, but I don't think I'm worse off than anyone. Ning Qingxue sneered contemptuously. That's what you think. Other epipel don't think like that. Don't stop my way. Fang Zhongshe always had good manners and he acted fine when Luo Susu said this to him last time. But now that he was ignored by the woman he liked in front of so many people, Fang Zhongshe felt like he couldn't look up anymore. It was said before Yuan Guannan died that he had surpassed Yuan Guannan, and now that Yuan Guannan's dead, he was one of the most genius cultivators of South Peace State. But he still didn't lose his composure. His eyes went a little red and asked, then tell me, who is the person you like? I want to see how far off I am from him. Ning Qingxue stared coldly at Fang Zhongshe and said, my husband is Yi Mo. I won't compare my husband with other people, you don't deserve it as well. Ning Qingxue was an extremist. Ever since she was Yi Mo's wife, even though she knew there were all too many people more powerful than Yi Mo in the cultivation realm, no one could compare with Yi Mo in her eyes. Ning Qingxue's eyes suddenly focused and became excited, but soon, her eyes dimmed down. She didn't even look at Fang Zhongshe and walked towards a young golden core state cultivator. This caught everyone's attention. Why was Ning Qingxue walking towards a golden core state cultivator? The first moment Mo Yushan saw Ning Qingxue, he was shocked. When he saw Xiao Shiyin at Golden Sword Sect, he was already shocked. But now, he found Ning Qingxue to be prettier than even Xiao Shiyun. He stared as the woman walked over to him, and this made his heart skip. Ever since he came to the cultivation realm and his condition was cured, he didn't stay indifferent to women like before. That's why he pestered his master to help propose to Xiao Shiyun. What's your name? Ning Qingxue walked up to Mo Yushan and asked calmly. Mo Yushan looked like Yi Mo from afar, but their eyes and face had some minor differences. She could just tell by the eyes that Mo Yushan wasn't Yi Mo. What's your name? Ning Qingxue walked up to Mo Yushan and asked calmly. Mo Yushan looked like Yi Mo from afar, but their eyes and face had some minor differences. She could just tell by the eyes that Mo Yushan wasn't Yi Mo. This was the first time she had seen someone look like Yi Mo this much, so she came to test her luck. Pill City. Mo Yushan greet martial sister Qingxue. My master is the elder of Pill City Changshan Pill King. Mo Yushan said excitedly and quickly brought out his master. Many cultivators realized no wonder Ning Qingxue was going up to this golden core state cultivator. Ning Qingxue frowned and suddenly asked, where are you from? Mo Yushan dazed and thought Ning Qingxue asked about his family. He replied happily, I came from the small world magical continent. I was a member of the Tai sect and I came to the Pill City due to the teleportation formation on Xinjiao Mountain. I was taken in as personal disciple by my master Chang Shun PPK. Ning Qingxue heard this answer and felt like she ate a fly. She wanted to ask if Mo Yushan knew Yi Mo, but hearing that he came from Tai sect, she wanted to kill this guy. But she had heard of the Chang Shun Pill King. If she killed him, even the ethereal immortal pond won't be able to protect her. At this moment, Fang Zhongshe seemed to have reacted and walked up to Ning Qingxue and said, martial sister Qingxue, tell me where that Yi Mo is? I can't be satisfied losing to a person I've never seen before. I must see this genius. If I see him and I'm indeed not as good as him, I'm willing to go into solitary cultivation for 100 years. Fang Zhongshe regained his confidence and pride. He didn't believe that there were more powerful prodigies than him in the South Peace State. Even if there was a difference, it wouldn't be great. Yi Mo. Mo Yushan heard this name and called out in shock. Ning Qingxue immediately looked at Mo Yushan and said, you know Yi Mo? Mo Yushan took a breath in a thought, not only do I know him but our enmity is deep like the seas. If Yi Mo was here I will turn him into dust. But seeing her face of concern, he immediately knew that they must be really close. Thinking about how she said she had a husband, was her husband Yi Mo? Seeing her look at him with worry, Mo Yushan said with melancholy, I know Yi Mo, but he died in the small world. You're lying. Ning Qingxue said coldly. Mo Yushan immediately said, I'm not lying, I'm close to Yi Mo. I was there when he died, because 7 great heaven masters set up a 7-seed kill formation and fought a day and night before killing Yi Mo. Ning Qingxue sneered, Yi Mo could be close to anyone but this Mo Yushan. Mo Yushan came from the Tai sect, and because a daoist from Tai almost killed her, Yi Mo hated the Tai sect the most. Everyone knows about how Yi Mo annihilated the Tai sect. How could Yi Mo be close to this Mo Yushan? With Yi Mo's fame in the small world, if he died, there was no reason she didn't know. Mo Yushan said this about Yi Mo. The only possibility was that he had great feud with Yi Mo. Ning Qingxue didn't even need to guess. If Mo Yushan's background wasn't so powerful, perhaps Ning Qingxue would have already fought with him. Mo Yushan just didn't expect Ning Qingxue to know about the small world and the Tai sect. His lying. Another cold voice appeared in the pill rest tower. Another woman who didn't look any less prettier than Ning Qingxue came in. Ning Qingxue turned around and saw this woman. Both her and Sister Susu didn't really like this woman. She was Wen Sai. She knew Mo Yushan was lying, but how could Wen Sai know too? Wen Sai looked at Ning Qingxue and said, I didn't think Yi Mo had such fortune to be liked by Goddess Ning of Ethereal Immortal Pond. What a pity. Yi Mo is dead indeed, but not in some small world but in the Truthful Palace. She looked at the pale-faced Ning Qingxue and said, but I don't know if the Yi Mo I'm talking about is the your Yi Mo. If so, I suppose Goddess Ning will be a widow. Ning Qingxue's face went pale. She wasn't too sure either, but she knew that Wen Sai's words were much more likely than what Mo Yushan said. There was almost zero possibility that Yi Mo was killed in the small world. But in the Truthful Palace, it was really hard to say. It was because the Truthful Palace was so dangerous that she had discussed with Sister Susu to not go in. They must see Yi Mo first before they went in there. Wen Sai felt glad seeing Ning Qingxue's pale face and said with a calm expression, I heard he used an alias in the Truthful Palace, Ning Xiaoma. I wonder if it has anything special meaning. Now that I think about it, it's the same last name as you. Ning Qingxue heard this and spat blood, immediately falling over. Huang Qian was suspecting if the person she saw today was Mo Yushan. She saw Ning Qingxue spit blood and fall down and quickly went to hold her. She took out a pill and put it in Ning Qingxue's mouth. Then she turned over, saying coldly to Wen Sai, martial sister, what's the meaning of this? It's nothing, I just heard that Goddess Ning has been thinking about Yi Mo, so I told her about him. Wen Sai said innocently. Martial sister Qianqian, don't say much with her, let's go back. Another female cultivator walked over and held Ning Qingxue too. Ning Qingxue had woken up now and her eyes were blank. After a long while, she took out a picture and felt it again and again. Have you forgotten about me and Sister Susu? Why didn't you come find us? Why? The two female cultivator from Ethereal Immortal Pond saw this and signaled each other to take Ning Qingxue away. After leaving, Ning Qingxue suddenly thought of something and asked the female cultivator next to her, martial sister Yang, where is the Truthful Palace? I want to go. The female cultivator was shocked and said after a while, martial sister Qingxue, even if you want to go, you can't. You need to wait. It opens every 30 years. Huang Qian suddenly exclaimed and pointed at the picture in Ning Qingxue's hands. Martial sister Qingxue, I saw this person today. Ning Qingxue suddenly grabbed Huang Qian's hands and asked shakily, martial sister Qianqian, did you really see this person? You're not lying to me or trying to comfort me. The female cultivators all stared at Huang Qian. Huang Qian nodded with certainty. It's real, martial sister Qingxue, I've really seen this person. I thought it was that Mo Yushan before, but their outlook is too different. I'm sure that the image you showed me today was the cultivator I saw today. She then looked at Ning Qingxue and said, that's right, martial sister Qingxue, I told you about him today. I went with martial uncle Tongbing to find Lu Qianbei, we saw him there. He stopped us to ask about you. I. Ning Qingxue grabbed Huang Qian joyfully. Did you really see him? He came to the Pill City. He was asking where I was. 8 minutes later, Ning Qingxue under Huang Qian's lead came to Lu Wu's forgery shop again, but there was no one here anymore. 8 minutes later, Ning Qingxue under Huang Qian's lead came to Lu Wu's forgery shop again, but there was no one here anymore. Ning Qingxue looked dazedly at this tattered shop in disappointment. Pill City was not some other place. If it was, She could just ask her master to scan over with her spirit sense, but one couldn't do that in the Pill City. Martial Sister Qingxue, don't worry. Since that Yi Mo came to the Pill City, it means he's going to see the Pill King tournament. You can find him there a few days later. Plus, even if you can't find him, he will come find you. Didn't he ask Martial Sister Huang Qian before? Another female cultivator comforted, seeing that Ning Qingxue was filled with disappointment. Ning Qingxue's eyes lit up. She didn't think about this since she had been so worried. Since Yi Mo was here, it meant he came for the Pill King tournament for sure. Plus, he knew she was at the ethereal immortal pond, so he would come for sure. Huang Ping saw Ning Qingxue's joyful expression and was more confused. People in ethereal immortal pond rarely saw Ning Qingxue have such joyful look. She asked in surprise, Sister Qingxue, is that Yi Mo really your husband? Ning Qingxue nodded yes, he's my husband. After the Pill King tournament, I will be leaving with my husband. Martial Sister Qianqian, Martial Sister Yang and Martial Sister Yu, take care. It was as though Ning Qingxue already foresaw Yi Mo taking her away from ethereal immortal pond. She couldn't control the excitement in her tone. Martial Sister Yang looked worriedly at Ning Qingxue and said, Martial Sister Qingxue, I don't think you can leave. Martial Uncle Yin won't let you go. The elders in the sect won't let a core disciple leave the sect for no reason. Plus, the other people knew that she meant to say the Lightning Cloud sect came to propose. Ning Qingxue was going to marry to the Lightning Cloud sect for sure. Forming a marriage alliance with a powerful 9-star sect was very beneficial to the ethereal immortal pond. Ning Qingxue heard this and her heart sunk. She was too optimistic. She hasn't even found Yi Mo yet, and even if she did, could she leave with Yi Mo? Different to the ethereal immortal pond, the Black Ice sect was 9-star sect too. Susu's master was Cauldron Filling State Elder and protected Susu a lot. Her master was nice to her, but her master's status wasn't high and she would put the sect before her. Perhaps after she found Yi Mo, not only would she not be able to leave, but she would bring trouble to Yi Mo. Ning Qingxue began to realize why Yi Mo didn't come find her after all these years. Perhaps he had this concern as well. Ning Qingxue gradually calmed down her mind, but her heart burned with fire. Even if she had to die, she didn't want to leave Yi Mo. So she had to see him in the Pill City. Although Yi Mo didn't get to find out if Ning Qingxue came to the Pill City or not, since Ethereal Immortal Pond was here, he could do it later. He would go when he showed his capabilities in the Pill King tournament. It was pointless to try and find her now. In these few days, Yi Mo had been using the purple flower fire to concoct pills. He had always been using the mist lotus heart fire before. The purple flower fire is lower level, but it's a rather high caliber rare flame in the cultivation realm. It was ranked 12 in the 36 types of rare flames in the cultivation realm. This meant that it ranked 2 in the earth flames. The only pity was that its level was a little low. It was only a yellow flame now, and Mist Lotus Heartfire was a red color flame. Yi Mo believed that with his pill concoction capabilities, he would be fine getting into top 3 using the Mist Lotus Heartfire. Yi Mo suddenly thought of Jiyu Wenqian. He really wanted to know what fire he was using. He immediately called Jiyu Wenqian over. Jiyu Wenqian under Yi Mo's tutelage had drastically improved in these few days. He wasn't able to completely master the spirit sense pill concoction method, but Yi Mo brought him into a new world. Things that he didn't dare to imagine before seemed normal in Yi Mo's mouth. Jiyu Wenqian had a subconscious feeling that the pill concoction system Yi Mo taught him might be the most powerful one in the cultivation realm. It was due to this that he was very respectful to Yi Mo. He also taught his little martial sister Shinjida well because he felt that Yi Mo loved this little martial sister a lot. If Shinjida could compliment him, perhaps Yi Mo might take him in as a disciple earlier. He immediately came to Yi Mo's place when Yi Mo called him. "Master, you called for me?" Jiyu Wenqian said respectfully. Yi Mo nodded. "What rare flame do you use?" Jiyu Wenqian took out an orange flame without hesitation. "This is something I got by chance. It's ranked 22 in the cultivation realm, wood heart fire." Jiyu Wenqian was wood and fire spirit root, the spirit root most suitable for pill concoction, and the fire he used was wood heart fire. It was the perfect combination. It's a very good flame. How much confidence do you have for this Pill King tournament? Yimo asked. Jiyu Wenqian shook his head. I wanted to join the tournament to find a good sect to be a paid guest and focus on pill concoction, but now that I have met Master, I don't intend to go to the tournament anymore. Yimo smiled. I've taught you a lot of new pill concoction means today. So you still need to go to the tournament. If you can get a good rank, it will attract more high-level cultivators when we get back to Moyu City. Yes, Master. Jiyu Wenqian replied. Then, he asked. Master, I've never seen you concoct pills. What flame do you use? Yimo reached out his hand and the purple flower fire appeared in his palm. Jiyu Wenqian exclaimed, ranked 12th in the rare flame ranking, purple flower fire? Such a good flame. Then, he thought of something and said in shock, the purple flower that appeared in the Herb Valley a few years ago was obtained by you, Master? Yimo dazed, thinking this news spread so far. In that case, should he still sue the purple flower fire for the tournament? After all, there were a lot of big sect members who fought over it. Yimo quickly cast the thought aside. Snow Essence Flame was lower caliber and wasn't suitable for him. Even if he didn't use the purple flower fire, he was using his original look. If he went to the tournament, people would recognize him immediately. Yimo nodded. That's right, I got this flame from the Herb Valley. But unfortunately, it's too low level. It's still only a yellow flame, if only it can upgrade a level. Jiyu Wenqian heard this and immediately said joyfully, Master, I have a way for it to upgrade. I have a deep sea, purple flame crystal. Then, Jiyu Wenqian took out a jade box, carefully opening it and giving it to Yimo. I got this with wood heart fire. It's useless to my wood heart fire, but I didn't want to let it go, so I've kept it till today. I didn't expect Master to be able to use it. Yimo also took the purple flame crystal in surprise and joy. He sighed. It was good to have lived long. You have a few good things in your collection. This was something Yimo needed desperately, but he felt a little embarrassed taking something this precious from Jiyu Wenqian. Jiyu Wenqian realized Yimo's concerns and he knelt down on the floor. Please take me in as a disciple formally, Master. This purple flame crystal can be my school fees. Yimo let Jiyu Wenqian stand up. Okay, you will be my disciple from now on. We don't need that many customs. Just know it in your heart. He looked at Jiyu Wenqian and said, I will go upgrade the purple flower fire now. Go cultivate first. After the Pill King tournament, I will teach you the whirlpool pill concoction technique. Jiyu Wenqian couldn't control his excitement. He knew that other than the spirit sense pill concoction method, the most important technique was the whirlpool pill concoction technique for concocting the spirit weaving pill. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.